This meeting is called to order. One tap. Hi, everybody. It's 8:03 p.m. It's 8:03 p.m. It's Thursday, December 16th, 2021. I'm Sarah Clendenning, the president of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, and we're going to do roll call now. Vince Montalvo, can you do roll call? Because Fernanda Sanchez is traveling right now.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me bring up the roll call.
I have a point of order.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to let you know that I believe this may be an invalid meeting. It's maybe a Brown Act violation. Our regular board meetings are usually starting at 6 p.m. They're that way for a long time. It's also listed at 6 p.m. on our website and on the Empower LA as a meeting, regular board meeting is a first and third Thursday at 6 p.m. So we may be in violation of the Brown Act.
Okay. I advise you to read the bylaws. In any case, we're going to proceed.
Okay.
Vince?
Okay, I just let Selena in. Okay. I'm just making sure we got everyone in on our side before we start. We do. Okay. Sarah Clendenning.
Present.
Ben.
Present.
Fernanda Sanchez
Excuse.
is absent. Vincent Montalvo, present. Nancy Soto.
Present.
William Rodriguez Morrison, absent. Give me Benny Madera. Benny.
Ben, Mr. B.
Present.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Didia.
Present.
Joanna.
Present.
Okay. Richard Larson.
Present.
Anna Lee.
Here. Here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, Anna Lee.
All right, thanks.
Melanie.
Here, sorry.
Okay. Armida. Absent. Vicente Gonzalez. Absent. Victor.
Present.
Whoa.
Diego.
Present.
Richard Ortiz. Absent.
What?
Gil.
Present.
Let me just. Okay.
Make sure Richard's not here. Make sure Richard's here. Or
Yeah,
can you-
he's not in the panelists or in the attendee side.
Okay.
Okay, Lena Ruiz. Absent. Steve.
Here.
Selena.
Present.
Okay. And Deanna.
Ooh.
Okay, and for the record, at 8:07, Richard, I'm bringing him over from the attendee side. So
Yeah.
Richard is present.
Okay, Richard's present. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Great. Vince, can you pull up the
Richard here.
Hi, Richard.
We recorded you, Richard. Thank you.
Okay, Vincent Montalvo, could you please pull up the agenda?
There we go.
Yay, and then scroll. All right, here we go. Item number 3, non-agenda public comments. On-agenda public comments, 2 minutes per person. If there's anybody from the public who has a comment, please raise your hand or press *9. You have 2 minutes to speak, and we will be timing. Right, Vince?
Correct. Let me just set this time real fast. Okay, we have Jessica Swan.
Oh, Jessica?
Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. I just wanted to, my name is Jessica Swan. I'm the Department of Toxic Substances Control, Public Participation Specialist. for the Avenue 34 project, as well as other projects in the LA area. So I just wanted to remind everyone that we're currently accepting comments for the draft remedial action plan for the Avenue 34 project. The public comment period is scheduled to end on December 20th. You can find project documents online on the EnviroStore page, as well as information at the information repositories located at the Lincoln Heights Branch Library, as well as the DTSC Chatsworth Regional Office. Comments can be emailed to the project manager, Luis Garcia, at luis.garcia@dtsc.ca.gov. You can also submit them by mail and address them to Luis Garcia at 9211 Oakdale Avenue in Chatsworth, zip code 91311. We also have a QR code to submit your comments online that is still active. If you would like more information, please email me, jessica.swan@dtsc.ca.gov. And again, the comment period ends this Monday, so please submit all your comments by Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay, our next public comment is Isidro.
Okay. Isidro?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Isidro Armenta here visiting, representing East College Prep. We're at 3825 North Mission Road, right across from the park. And we want to first extend greetings and most importantly, gratefulness for the Neighborhood Council and all of your diligent work over the past year to help mitigate the impacts of the pandemic, as well as help keep our community safe and clean. And we are also part of the solution in that our affiliated schools across Southern California have helped provide vaccination through our vaccination clinics to more than 1,200 students and families across the greater Southern California region. So we absolutely appreciate the teamwork. If there are any students as we go into this winter break that are interested in exploring and learning more about a high quality, successful college prep high school in Lincoln Heights, that's proud to be in Lincoln Heights, we welcome individuals. We can be found on any search engine, East College Prep space USC, and that could find our information there. Again, we remain grateful and thankful for all of your work across the entire day and everything you do in your professional capacity and in your volunteer capacity here as elected with the Neighborhood Council. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have no more public comment.
So with that, we're going to move on.
Hold on 1 second. We had someone raise their hand. They raised it, but I believe they put it back down. Let me just make a call for the last. Anybody in the public that wishes to make a public comment, use the *9 if you're on the landline or the little yellow hand. Okay, we got one more. This is LABGC. If you can please state your name for the record.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Juana Lambert. I'm the executive director of the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club. I'm familiar with Neighborhood Council for many years. I've been with the Boys and Girls Club since 2005. And I really appreciate Neighborhood Council's interest in the community. In terms of the environment, on the lot you've got for the last speaker, actually, I think she's second to the last. I really hope that you guys have a outhouse and a car there for security, but could you see if there's a way we can clean up that lot so we have a cleaner community, because there's so much trash in there. It's really a mess, and it would really be nice if you clean that up for us. We all pass by that every day, and our kids pass by that every day. It'll really be nice to have our community clean. I think the Boys and Girls Club has contributed an awful lot to the community over the years. And I see that there's some recent criticism of us, and I would really like to have whoever has this criticism, bring that to me directly. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Our focus has sincerely been on the families that are in our community that are low income, that need help. We've offered, even today, we offered our food bank, and we've been doing our food bank for years, every Thursday without fail. And we will continue to do that. So I want to make sure that there's a clear understanding of what the Boys and Girls Club is, who the Boys and Girls Club serves, and our mission, and how we try to make sure that we follow our mission and deliver good services to the families that live in Lincoln Heights. So with that, I hope, Sarah, I hope you address to me directly some of your concerns, because I have no problem with talking to you about that. Also,
We have time.
So we have all of our meetings archived on YouTube as well. If you, as in terms of land use and the other site you referenced, to preface you on some of the history of those sites.
I just mentioned that because she was talking about our input on the environmental thing, which I think is really important. I think we all need to have input on that environmental impact. And I just was mentioning the impact it has on an everyday for those of us who are in the community. But I just want to mention that our role in the community has been very strong and very important for a lot of the families. So that's what I wanted to say.
If you guys keep talking on this issue, it's going to violate the Brown Act. We can't have back and forth on it.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you, Juana. Okay, so next we'll
Our
move on.
next one is Angelica Perez.
Angelica.
Angelica?
Hello?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, esteemed members of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. It's my pleasure to join you here today and my fellow members of the public. My name is Angelica Loa Perez, and I'm just here from the Lincoln Heights Youth Arts Center. We are an agency with the Department of Cultural Affairs, City of Los Angeles, and we've been offering services in arts and cultural programming since 2011. We're located at 2911 Altura, which is 1 block north of Broadway, right here in Lincoln Heights. And since the pandemic, we've been continuing to offer music, poetry, dance, many different multidisciplinary arts and cultural programs for the neighborhood. And I came here tonight just to let everyone know that we will be offering our winter session coming up in January, starting January 31st through March 12th. It's going to be a 6-week session. Again, we're going to be online, of course, given the pandemic. And that was all. I would love to make a longer presentation if the council would permit that at a future meeting. But with that, I'd love to wish everyone a very happy holiday, and I hope everyone is remaining safe in our beloved community of Lincoln Heights. And just want to thank you all, council members, for stepping up in the wonderful service that you're providing to our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. I don't see any more public comment, Sarah.
Okay, so next we'll move on to item number 4, correct, Vince?
Let me bring.
Community and board announcements. Community and board announcements, 2 minutes per person. If there's anybody from the community who has an announcement, please raise your hand or press *9, and you have 2.
Okay. I don't see anybody in the community.
Okay, so next we're going to move on to board member announcements.
One second, someone raised their hand up. LABG. Let me just go back to our timer. 1 second. Okay, please unmute and state your name.
Sorry. I just wanted to let you know that this Tuesday, the 21st, the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club has a toy giveaway for all families. We'll be doing it as a drive-by or a walk-up from 5 to 7. Actually, it'll end up more toward 9. And we have to thank many contributors, which include the San Antonio Winery, but we have a lot of toys for the community. And we want to make sure all the families come out and get some toys on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other,
Yes, we have another, Robert. Please state your name for the record.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to announce December 26th, Sunday, the day after Christmas. Nelly United for Students is having a Christmas event at LA Academy. We're having Dwight Howard and other Lakers there. It's free food, over $10,000 worth of toys. We have the Delphonics there. So everybody's welcome of the Northeast. It's gonna be at 481 via Colina Road in Herman. So I just want to make that announcement. It's a lot of toys, some Xboxes, and yeah, it's gonna be a good event. So just save the date and come down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert. All right. Any other community announcements?
I don't see any more public announcements.
All right, next we'll move on to board member announcements. If any board members have any announcements, please raise your hand or press *9.
Okay. Give me one second. Richard Larson.
Yes, thank you. Hi, we should all be familiar with the bylaws. I think we have a parliamentarian, but anyway, we should be fairly familiar with the bylaws and the standing rules, and I hope we all can take the time to read them and, you know, become familiar with them. Also, we had a great holiday parade on Sunday with marching bands, cheerleading. I'm sorry, did somebody have is everybody okay? Anyway, with marching bands, cheerleaders, and the largest lowriders parade in recent history. Everyone was really great, and I saw some faces I haven't seen in a while, and celebrities, which was nice. Also, please, let's not be afraid of free speech. I know we live in challenging times and some controversies, even locally, but let's not be afraid of different opinions and include all of our community. It's a terrible thing to be afraid of free speech and also to live in fear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay, Steve.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to just say I apologize for last time. I know it was a very dramatic exit. I just want to ensure everybody that I stayed an hour past my original time, and I was literally on the way driving to my job, and I stayed as long as I could to the end of it till I got to the door. So just want to apologize. I appreciate everyone's time for being here, and thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, our next one is Gilbert.
Good evening, everyone. Here's one announce if you have not heard it, excuse me, saw the email, but as a result of our community statement, the scenic LA for the bus stops and everything else like that was put on hold for 1 year. Apparently 6 neighborhood councils did a community impact statement, and they listened to everyone, and so that's been stopped, and it's going to be for at least 1 year and investigated further. So Lincoln Heights can be proud that they were one of them that did the community impact statement and stopped that program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, I see no more.
okay, no more board member announcements. Okay, so with that, we will move on to government reports. Oh, wait, here we go. Government reports. Are there any government officials present who would like to speak for 2 minutes? Is Jose on the line? Or
No, Jose.
Joe, or no? Okay, so nobody. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 6, committee announcements.
Gil has his hand up. But
No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, committee announcements, okay, so I guess we'll just run down our committees quickly, just with any updates for the community for the end of the year. So executive committee, my announcement is that we have until January 1st to get all of our new criteria done for the ABLE training, right, Vince? ABLE?
correct.
and it's bias training. So the first of the year, and then also for the Planning and Land Use Committee, Planning 101 training. And that's, I guess, the XCOM announcement. Next, we'll move on to rules and bylaws. That would be Ben Wadsworth. Ben? Okay. Ben Wadsworth?
We
We'll
can
come back. Okay, so,
He's there now. He's there.
ooh. Ben?
Am I unmuted now?
Oh, yeah, you're unmuted. I don't know why.
Okay, we're working on the agenda for the budget, not budget, for the bylaws and setting rules committee meeting.
All right. And we're gonna kick that off next year. Woo.
Right.
Ben? Okay, and then while we're on it, Budget and Finance Committee, that's you, Ben, right?
No,
So-
that's the treasurer.
Vince, sorry, my bad. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you, Ben. Vince, any updates on Budget and
Agenda
Finance?
Finance will be holding a meeting in January, and the date will be released soon with our agenda.
All right, and we'll move on to Programs and Services. That's Gil Aravallo and Victor.
Yes, we did have a meeting last night. We did have some items that we discussed and voted on, and that we brought up to the general board meeting the first opportunity that we can. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gil. Okay, and then we'll move on to Outreach and Events Committee. That's Nancy.
Hi, no updates just yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. City and Government Liaison, that would be Selena.
Hi, everyone. We were actually supposed to meet on the 13th, but that didn't happen. So I'll be setting up an agenda for December 27th at 5:30. Yeah, I know it's right after the holiday, but trying to meet as soon as possible.
Yeah, don't worry. And then while we're on it, Elections Committee, you're the chair of that too, so we could.
It'll be a joint meeting.
Oh, a joint meeting? Okay, cool.
So again, December 27th at 5:30.
All right, and just so everybody knows, we have slots for community stakeholders on all these committees. Anybody from the community wants to join a committee, yeah, just email us. Okay, next we'll move on to Planning and Land Use Committee. That's me and Benny. We are going to kick it off in 2022 with a fresh new meeting on the first Tuesday of that month of January. Fresh new meeting. Holiday Parade Committee. What holiday's coming up? Annalee? Oh, well, we'll come back to Holiday Parade. Sustainability Committee.
Hello, sorry. Hello, hello, hello.
Holiday Parade, what's
Hello?
up? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, well, the holiday, can you hear me? The holiday parade is over, but we have a nice year to get ready for the next one. So be very exciting that we will have sufficient time and all that good stuff. You already heard all the things I had to say before, so yeah.
Well, holiday is a very vague word, so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, so here we go. Sustainability Committee, that would be Vince.
Sustainability Committee will also be preparing for its meeting in the new year. We hope to see people there, and our committee is also open for stakeholders that are interested in joining. So you can email me or Diego, and we'll be more than happy to put you on the agenda for consideration.
Yay, all right. Tenants' Rights Ad Hoc Committee, that's Fernanda Sanchez. She's not on the meeting today, but if anybody's interested, yeah, email her, fernanda.sanchez.lhnc@gmail.com. Next, we go to Alliance of River Communities, ARC. Vince.
ARC will be we'll be having our meetings again next year in January, and we just recently had one. We brought in DWP, which I will be giving to Sarah to disperse to everyone, a really good program on people that can grab some of the bill paying programs that are out there, but also appliances and, you know, and they gave us a kind of like a very grim story of our water. So I think we really need to invite them to our sustainability committee so we can get everybody on board to understand the importance of the conservation of water.
All right, excellent. And then lastly, we move on to LGBT Alliance Liaison. That would be Diana Tran. Is Diana here?
Diana's not.
Oh, she's not. Okay, they have their meetings once a month. I don't know if they had a meeting since last, so. Okay, we'll catch up with her next meeting. Next we move on to item number 7. Items number 7 through 12 are all meeting minutes, approval of minutes, discussion and possible action on approval of board minutes. So item number 7 would be for the last one, December 2nd, 2021 general meeting. Vince, all those minutes are on our website.
This is for December the 2nd, right?
Yes, December the 2nd. Item number 7. I think that's 7. Yeah, okay, so if you want to run down that, just scroll down, Vince. All right. So Vince, if you want to talk about protocol here, because we could read these for, you know, a long time.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll just start it as I'd like to make a motion to approve the general board stakeholder meeting for Thursday, December 22nd minutes.
Second.
Okay. And then we can open it up for discussion, Sarah.
Yeah, so any board member discussion on this item?
We have, give me 1 second, Victor.
Yeah, I just wanted a point of clarification. Did we ever vote on for a minute taker? If I'm not mistaken, was that approved?
Yes, correct. And right now, oh, go ahead.
Oh, and is this what the minute taker is doing, or is this separate from that?
No, this is separate. We haven't obtained one yet, and we should have one in January.
Got it. Okay, just wanted a clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Didia?
Yes, thank you. I left work at 5 o'clock, and I didn't see the minutes posted on our website at that time. When I came back to my computer at about 6:45, they were all there. I have not had time to read them. I think it's really, really important that we be able to approve our minutes and move forward. But I really would like to have time to review them, and I'd like for the public to have time to do so as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Gilbert?
Yes, I want to echo that. I've been looking for them. I would have imagined that because they were on the last meeting that they would have been put up on our website. And even if they're draft minutes, they still can go up there. And so I was looking for them for a couple of days, and just like I just don't feel that I can vote on minutes that are up there 15 minutes before the meeting. That's just not acceptable.
Okay, I would like to comment that all of our minutes, in order to get them onto the website, it has to go to our webmaster, and it's up to the webmaster when they put it on the website. So the webmaster is busy, and it took a long time to get them on the website. So
we still have board comment. We got Selena.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to add to that. The minutes do need to be approved before they're posted on our website. I know this was a concern of the public a few months ago, and it's something that we keep reiterating. They need to be approved before they go on the website. This is how it's been for years.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then give me 1 second, Richard.
Yes, so what we've been doing for years is at the meetings, the minutes are available on a table in the community. Anyone in the community can pick up the minutes and read them at that time. And so at the meeting, the minutes are available. However, what's been happening lately is that we haven't seen any minutes since May 17th. I don't know how many weeks that is, but some of us have a hard time remembering what happened yesterday. So I think when we have to think back to May 17th or something, or somewhere, 8 or 9 months ago, I mean, they're just, nobody can recall what happened unless, they have recordings or, took notes or something. I just think it's unrealistic to try to review minutes that are anywhere over 6 weeks. I think that's just too much to ask of anyone to recall the details of a meeting, who said what and what was resolved and so forth. It's just not feasible for the average person to recall those events. And I'm talking about here board members who have to vote on them. I think it's questionable if a board member votes on something and they haven't actually read the minutes or familiar with them. So that's one problem. And then the other thing is, in our bylaws and standing rules, it says that minutes must be provided within a very short time. In fact, I think it specifies the number of days. So any minutes that are being presented at this point are in violation of our bylaws and standing rules. Unfortunately, between the time it takes to get those minutes together and get them posted seems to be beyond their reach currently. And I don't think it's fair to anyone on the board, and especially in our community, to be asked to remember things that happened 6 weeks ago and then to give comment or even to vote on it, which would be, in my mind, unethical if they haven't read them.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. I would like to make a comment. So as of May 16th, all meetings of LHNC are online on YouTube archive. Prior to that, there are no archived videos of any meetings. There are no minutes of a lot of meetings of 2021 prior to May 16th. So yes, we owe many minutes. The board owes many minutes. It's not just one person, it's the entire council owes the minutes. So with that, we'll continue to any other board member comment.
Okay, not seeing any. We can go
Okay,
to public comment.
Next, we will move on to public comment. If anybody from the public would like to comment, please press *9 or raise your hand. Okay.
Not seeing any.
Okay, so
I just want to put for the record, I see Armida's in the attendees. At
okay.
8:36, I'm gonna move her over to the panelist side.
All right, rock and roll. Okay, so no public comments. So with that, we're going to go to roll call vote.
Going down this list, but we have the recording for it. So Sarah?
Yes. We have a second, correct?
Yes, we have a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to approve the minutes. Mhm.
Okay, Ben?
Yes.
Fernanda, absent. Vincent, yes. Nancy Soto?
Yes.
William Morrison, absent. Benny?
Yes.
Didia?
I can't vote on something I haven't read. No.
Okay, Joanna?
Yes.
Richard Larson?
Recuse.
Annalee?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Melanie?
Yes.
Vicente Reyes is absent. Armida?
No.
Victor?
Yes.
Diego?
Yes.
Richard Ortiz?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Bruce,
What was that again?
I recuse myself. I'm not voting on it.
Okay, Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve?
Yes.
Selena?
Yes.
And Deanna Tran is absent. Motion passes.
Carries. All right, next we'll move on to item number 8, correct? It's another minute one.
Correct.
Pull up that agenda. So item 8 would be, what's the date on this one? Okay,
This one is
10/21.
10/21/21.
Okay, 10/21/21.
So I'm gonna make the motion to approve our board minutes from our general meeting from 10/21/21. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, board member discussion?
Okay, Diego?
Thank you, Vincent. So I'm looking at our bylaws. There's only 2 times where minutes are mentioned in our bylaws. One of them says each committee is required to submit the board and maintain an archive of minutes. The second is secretary shall mean a member of the board of charged with the responsibility of keeping the minutes of all board meetings. In our standing rules, this is where this kind of applies to what we're talking about. Where it is this? Committee chairs must take minutes at all committee meetings and publish drafts of the minutes to the committee members and board of directors in advance of the next committee meeting or within 30 days of the meeting, whichever occurs first.
Okay.
So I just wanted to share that information with everyone because in case you haven't seen our bylaws and standing rules, that's all that there is about minutes.
All right, thank you, Diego.
Thank you, Diego, for making it clear.
Yeah. I'd like to comment. Yeah, Bonk and Dunn has a policy for minutes. So I believe that overrides any standing rules or bylaws, correct, Vince? Or what's up with that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy because we are supposed to have our autonomy, but there are sets of rules above us sometimes, and we do have to double check sometimes. But yeah, sometimes their rules overpower ours, but
Okay.
we'll leave that for another day. We have Victor.
Just what Diego, what he was saying. So if we can't vote on it or we don't approve the minutes, what happens next, or what do we do, or what do we don't do with the minutes?
They usually would just go back. They have to get voted on. It's one of the requirements, like Sarah was mentioning and Diego. So usually the city trumps us in our rules, and they require them. So no matter what happens, we have to approve them. Even if it goes against our bylaws, the city would always rule in favor of getting them done versus not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing now, and that's what we were advised to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get them done for the public. It also, if they're not done, it can't stop the work of what we're doing.
These minutes were all done, transcribed from the it's just these the outline of our minutes directly mirrors those of Dunn's minutes. So it's just the votes and the movers and the seconds and the time that it opened and the time that it closed and any amendments. So just formally they mirror those of the authority. So and they're taken from the YouTube recording. So it's not like anybody invented any information. It's just numbers about who was present, what the votes were.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Our next board member is Gilbert.
Yes, one thing that you might want to consider, even in the Brown Act and everything else like that, if you have some minutes and you're not getting voted on, they're not getting voted on, you could have the minutes say across it that it's draft minutes, and they could they're acceptable by the Brown Act, and so it wouldn't that maybe that'll satisfy so that we don't have to go through this process after for so period of long time. Just have it labeled as a draft minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Sarah, we have one more.
One more board member comment. Okay. Yeah. We have a couple more of these minutes to go through. Okay.
So this would be our last one?
No, we have Oh, the last board member comment. Yes, continue.
Okay, Richard?
Yes, hi. I've heard a lot of vague comments about what our bylaws say and what our standing rules say, and that anything that the department does trumps us, but actually that's not the case. And I believe we have a parliamentarian here someplace, and maybe this person could speak up. But I want to point out a couple of things. One is that if such a condition existed where we had such an outrageous bylaw that needed interpretation by the department, well, surely after all the years the council has been serving our community, this would have come up as an issue. So now we're hearing about something that's as everyday as, I don't know, putting on your jacket before going outside, that kind of thing. If it's cold out, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about here. It doesn't take, you know, a serious degree from a major institution of education to inform us on what is required with minutes and when they're allowed and when they're proper and when they're not. And I think our bylaws clearly spell that out. The other thing I heard tonight, which is really, really challenging, is that our meetings exist on YouTube. And I think that excludes probably like 40% of our community, because I think that we should recognize the fact a lot of people in our community don't have data plans. They don't have unlimited, and they don't have any of that kind of access to our minutes and so forth. And we don't really want to cut out 40–50% of our community by saying that proper minutes exist on YouTube. They don't. There's nowhere in our bylaws, standing rules, or anywhere that mentions YouTube. And I think we should start getting back to what the basics are in terms of the simple language of our bylaws and standing rules, and how complicated is that? And saying vague things is unhelpful to our community and introduces confusion, and it's disenfranchising. Thank you.
Okay, any other board member comments? And please try not to repeat any other prior comment.
We have Selena.
Okay, Selena?
Selena?
Oh, hi, sorry. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to answer something that Mr. Larson was saying. We also have a demographic in our community, some people who are met with challenges and disabilities who might find YouTube helpful. But I do understand, you know, not everybody has access to internet, but I think we should also think about the people who might have some trouble reading or, you know, following along. So watching a video might be easier for them. That's something to keep in mind.
Thank you, Selena. Okay, I just need to make a quick announcement here for the record. William Morris just came into the meeting at 8:45. And then I noticed too that Fernanda Sanchez is here, and she came in at 8:40.
Sure. Thank you. All right. So any other board member comments on this item?
Nope, we have no more board member comment.
Any public comments on this item? Please press star 9 and raise your hand.
We have no public comment.
Okay, now we're going to take it for a vote. Since Vince is already doing the roll call vote, Vince, can you repeat the motion, and then the first and the second?
Okay, the motion is to approve the minutes from the general board stakeholder meeting on Thursday, October the 21st, 2021 at 6 p.m. And we got a second. And so that's what we're voting on now. And then now I'm just going to go down the list again. Okay, Sarah?
Aye.
Ben?
Yes.
Fernanda Sanchez?
Yes.
Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy?
Yes.
William Morris? William Morris? Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I moved him over, but give me 1 second. William, I put you over to panelist. Okay, I'll come back to you.
I think I got audio now, so I abstain.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Where was I? Richard, right here. Okay, Benny,
Yes.
thank you. Didia,
Yeah, we're not just, I think you know this, Gente, but we're looking at your screen with the list, not the minutes themselves. For the vote, I support approving our minutes and want to get work done. I cannot approve these minutes without having been given sufficient time to do the public's work. I vote no.
thank you. And I'm aware of the screen. I'm just using, that's the city screen that we're using right now because I don't have a list in front of me. But thank you. Joanna,
Yes.
Richard Larson,
Recuse.
okay. Anna Lee, Anna
Yes.
Lee? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Melanie,
Yes.
Vicente, absent. Armida,
No.
okay, thank you. Victor,
Yes.
Diego,
Yes.
Richard Ortiz,
Sí.
Gil,
Recuse.
okay. Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve,
Yes.
Selena,
Yes.
and then Deanna is absent. Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, next we move on to item number 9. So that would be October 7th. Don't worry, bear with me. We have 4 more of these minutes to go through.
So I'd like to make the motion to approve the general board stakeholder meeting minutes for October the 7th, 2021.
Richard second.
Okay, Victor seconds. Okay.
Richard.
Oh, Richard, sorry about that.
All right.
Now it's board member comment. Fernanda?
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to point out that if you are going to recuse yourself from this vote, you cannot make a comment. Jose Galdamez has addressed this to certain board members. However, I see that they're continuing to do the same thing. They're participating and then they choose to recuse themselves at the time of voting. If you are recusing yourself, you cannot make a board member comment and you cannot discuss the motion in hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernanda. They must also turn off their screen, correct? And
That's right, and mute themselves.
okay, thank you.
Okay, our next board member is Richard Larson.
Yes, hi. So the point on this is that these are minutes from a meeting that was held on October 2nd or something like that, I believe. I want to point out Standing Rule 8. I hate to be the guy that's talking about rules because frankly, I don't really think about it very often, but Standing
Don't follow them.
I think I have the floor. Okay. Thank you. So Standing Rule 8, why don't we take a look at it? It says that the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council will have one meeting a month on the 3rd Thursday of the month, i.e. Like today. Is that so? It's today? I think it is the 3rd Thursday. Wow. So some of these meetings that have been held on the 1st Thursday of the month don't qualify as meetings under our standing rules. And if that was to be changed at any time, it would have had to been voted on as it's called for in Standing Rule 8. So I'm afraid that what it looks like, to the casual observer, is that all the meetings that were held on the 1st Thursday of the month are invalid and are not official board meetings, and as such couldn't be counted for whatever was said or done at those meetings and or attending, having attended it or not, it would be considered a special meeting. I don't know how that would be handled retroactively to declare that an agenda that was posted as a general board agenda was now going to be a special meeting. I don't think you can do that either. So I think that's a problem that should be addressed, and we should have voted on having two meetings a month and done this the right way. Otherwise, we're just standing in default. So my
Mr.
comment. Thank you very much.
I would like to make a comment. Wicka wicka. The standing rules can't contradict the bylaws, and the bylaws clearly state the first and third Thursday. Just for everybody on the board, yeah, please become familiar with the bylaws. Thank you.
What happens is the procedure of
Richard, Richard, this is not a back and forth. This is her comment.
I'm responding to the comment that was directed.
You do not have the floor, Richard.
I've got my hand raised. I'm sorry, I do.
Will you be recusing?
You have to announce your recusal
No, I'm
before
just
any
simply-
comment that's made.
Just responding to the comment that was directed at me. And what I'm saying is the standing rules take precedent because
Richard, none of the comments are directed at
the
you.
standing
Sarah,
rules.
make a
I was just directed a
Well,
comment.
before anybody says anything,
The standing rule.
I'm going to make an
Standing rules
announcement that I'm
exist.
going to take the ability for
The
anybody
standing
to mute themselves.
to change bylaws so that bylaws follow and are corrected.
All right.
That's why they call them standing rules, is because
Order,
they
Richard.
correct the bylaws.
Let's see. Silence.
Okay, just so that people understand, now we're going to have to take a little bit longer. I'm going to warn everybody on this that if you continue to disrupt the process of the meeting, that is a code of conduct. Okay, we want everyone to have their opinion. You don't have to answer back and forth. Your comment is your comment to the board, not to each other. It's obviously that no one has understood or read those rules on that. People don't have to respond, and the chair must recognize you before you respond. So we'll move on. I'm going to have to call everybody, and we're going to have to make sure that everyone unmutes themselves now. Okay, so our next, is there any other board member comment?
All right. So no.
Any more board member comment?
Okay, so next we'll go to public comments on this item number 9. Please raise your hand or press star 9.
I see no board member, excuse me, community comment.
Okay, so next we're going to take it for a vote. Vince, could you repeat the motion and the second, just so it's easier for the minutes?
Okay, well, we're gonna have to go down on this one, and I have to unmute each individual person. Okay, Fernanda Sanchez.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Vincent Montalvo, yes. Ben?
Yes.
Thank you. Sarah?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Recuse.
Okay, Armida?
Okay, Armida, are you here? Please.
Can you please unmute me? This is so disrespectful. My goodness.
Well, what is?
Well, nothing. Please don't stop doing that. That is so rude and disrespectful as a board member. Stop doing that.
It was announced when one member was out of.
And please stop talking because I wasn't directing a comment to you for you.
We are voting now.
Stop.
We are voting now.
Stop.
Point of order.
Stop.
Okay.
I didn't ask for a reply because I didn't say anything. I just said you're being rude and disrespectful for unmuting me and muting me.
I'm not.
That is just what I'm stating.
What is your
I
vote?
don't need a reply to that.
At this
My
time-
vote is no.
Thank you, Armida.
Fuck.
Okay, Benny?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you, Benny.
Vince, can you tell Watson, can you mute? There's some noises.
Okay, let me get,
I think it's gone now.
yeah,
Alright,
just give me 1 second. Okay, Diego,
Diego?
give me
Mute
one.
myself.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just,
Okay, Didia,
Again, insufficient time to review the minutes, no.
thank you. Joanna,
Yes.
thank you. Give me 1 second. Okay, Melanie,
Yes.
thank you.
okay.
Nancy,
Yes.
thank you. Richard Ortiz,
Yes.
thank you. Richard Larson,
You just excluded me from voting, I believe. I'm going to recuse myself. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Selena,
Yes.
thank you. Steve,
Yes.
thank you. Victor,
Yes.
thank you. And William Morris,
As it wasn't an official meeting, I have to vote no.
thank you. Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, next we move on to item number 10, correct, Vince? I don't have the agenda here in front of me.
Correct.
Item number 10, discussion and possible action on approval of board minutes for September 16th, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the general board stakeholder meeting of September 16, 2021 at 6 p.m. Is there a second?
Oh, people have to unmute.
If you, yeah, raise your hand. Let me just,
Maybe unmute everybody.
okay, look, I'm gonna hopefully,
Unmute everyone, Vince.
okay. I already unmuted everybody. Okay.
I second that.
Okay, Victor seconds. Okay. We asked for board member comment. Selena?
I'm sorry, I was trying to second, but I was muted, but I'm not upset that I was muted.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I don't see any more board member comment.
Any public comment? Please raise your hand or press *9. You have 2 minutes to speak. This is for item number 10.
I see no public comment.
Okay, so with that, we're going to take it for a vote.
One second. We got one public comment. Pedro Ramirez. If you can unmute yourself and state.
Hello. Hi, good evening. So I just wanted to say one thing. This is starting to sound like a circus show, and it just, come on, guys. Come on. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. All right. Any other public comments? Yeah, this is like getting through the minutes, you know. Any other
None.
public comments? None? Okay, so now we're going to just take it for a vote.
We'll go down to the vote.
Mhm.
Okay, Sarah,
Yes.
Ben, everybody can unmute themselves now. Ben. Okay, we'll come back to Ben. Fernanda,
Yes.
Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy,
Yes.
thank you. William Morrison,
What's the date on that meeting that we're voting on?
this one is September 16, 2021.
September 16th. Let me look at that come back to me because I'm gonna look that up on the calendar, because if it's not the third Thursday of that month, then I'll have to excuse myself. So let me look at the calendar and get
Okay.
back to me, please.
Okay. Benny Madera,
Yes.
Didia,
Insufficient time given, no.
okay. Joanna,
Yes.
Richard Larson,
Yes, I'm going to say that since we've heard several board members say they didn't have time, we've never done this in the past, push through minutes where board members are saying they haven't had time and the public hasn't had time. I think it's unfair. And for that reason, and a number of other reasons, I'm going to recuse myself from this vote.
thank you. Anna Lee,
Yes.
thank you. Melanie,
Yes.
thank you. Vicente Reyes Gonzalez is not here today. Armida,
No.
thank you.
And I checked the calendar. I'm gonna vote no on that. This is William Morrison.
Okay, William, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Victor,
Yes.
thank you. Diego,
Yes.
thank you. Richard Ortiz,
Sí.
thank you. Gil,
Recuse.
thank you. Okay, Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve,
Yes.
thank you. Selena,
Yes.
thank you. And Deanna Tran is absent.
And I'll vote yes.
And okay, and Ben votes yes. Thank you. Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, next we move on to, was it item 11, Vince?
Let me get back up here.
There it is.
We are now on item 11. This
That's
is the
September 2nd. Minutes.
902.
Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us. These are like many old things that we have to get through.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the general board stakeholder meeting minutes for Thursday, September the 2nd, 2021, 6 p.m. Is there a second?
I
Richard
second.
Ortiz seconds. Okay.
Okay, Selena seconds.
Sorry, Richard.
Okay, let me see this. I'm writing this down as I go. Selena second. Okay. Okie dokie. Any board member comment? We have Melanie.
Hi, thank you. I wanted to make a request during voting. If we could please limit our responses to yes, no, recuse, or otherwise, and really save comment for the comment period, just out of respect for each other's time and as well as our stakeholder public time. I would personally very much appreciate that.
Thank you. Didia?
Thank you, Melanie. I feel that we've had insufficient time and the public has had insufficient time to review these minutes. I won't be able to vote to support them, even though I strongly support approving our minutes and getting our business done. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Larson?
Yes, am I unmuted? Oh, good, thank you. So I just want to say thank you to the other board members who have recognized the fact that our standing rule on number 8 says that we shall have only one official meeting on the third Thursday of each month. And at the end of that period, that if there was a need for a change, that there would be a vote on that. And that has never happened. So these minutes are on such a meeting. I don't think that it's proper to vote on a meeting that isn't even an official meeting. And because it could also, since things were discussed at that meeting, which are outlined in said minutes, those things could all be subject to either preclusionary action, Brown Act violations, or other things. I think it's really improper to vote on these minutes that reflect meetings that apparently were in violation of the Brown Act. Thanks.
Armida?
These meetings are obviously recorded and the voting is recorded. I'm concerned that in the future, if anybody was to be questioned under oath, that they confirm that they've actually read the minutes prior to voting, that this would not cause a problem in the future. Some board members are stating that they did not have enough time. I can't for the life of me believe that everybody else had ample time. And that is a big concern of mine, that did everybody actually read these prior to, or they're just voting just to get through with the agenda. That is a huge, huge concern. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Vince, I have a statement. If anybody has any, all complaints, these are the board's minutes, okay? If anybody else feels the same way, they can do all the minutes themselves and present them to the board again, possibly to contest the minutes. But I mean, the video recordings exist. This is a transcription of the actual vote, the votes that went down. The video is available publicly, but I encourage anybody, you know, who has any questions or whatever to sit down for a couple of days and do all the minutes and then resubmit them to the board.
Thank you. Diego?
Thank you, Vincent. I just want to reassure everyone, I'm speaking for myself, I have read the minutes and I'm voting accordingly. I will also like to read out standing rule number 8 in its entirety. The Board of Directors shall hold one official meeting on the third Thursday of each month as a trial for the months of August and September. At the end of the trial period, the Board of Directors may vote to make this permanent, extend the trial period, or revert to the previous schedule of 2 meetings each month, first and third Thursdays. I also would like to note that our standing rules are from several years ago. I don't recognize like the majority of the board when these standing rules were submitted. So I'm assuming they're a little dated. Anyways, that's all.
Thank you, Diego, for the clarification. Victor?
Yeah, just wanted to clarify that I was able to read the minutes prior to the meeting, and it is available right now. It takes a couple seconds to look over it. It's like in a regular in-person meeting. The printouts will be available to review. So we all have the opportunity to do so at this very moment while we're looking it over. Thank you.
Thank you. Selena?
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to mention to all of the colleagues on here, to say, you know, whether we had enough time or we didn't, that's a very subjective statement. Some people review things faster than others. And, you know, that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Selena. Fernanda?
Hi, yeah, I also wanted to say that I did have ample time to review the minutes. I understand that it takes longer for some people. However, it was posted enough time to review the minutes, and they're still available now to review the minutes. I had a flight today and traveled and still had time to review the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernanda. Sarah, we have 2 board members that already made another comment.
I feel that we are really dragging this out and we need to continue to the vote.
Okay.
Or to the public comment.
We're calling for the vote.
Well, have we taken public comment?
No, we need public comment. Sorry about that. If there's anybody in the public that wishes to make a comment, you can push *9 or raise your little yellow hand. Sarah, I don't see any.
Okay, well then we're going to move on to a roll call vote. Vince?
Okay, Sarah?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Thank you. Fernanda?
Yes.
Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy Soto?
Yes.
William Morrison?
No.
Okay, Benny Madera?
Yes.
Didia?
No.
Joanna,
Yes.
Richard Larson,
Recuse.
okay, Anna Lee, Anna Lee. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
you. Melanie?
Yeah. Ooh. Can you hear me? Sorry. Yes. You hear me? Okay.
Yes, we got you. Thank you. Okay, Vicente Gonzalez is absent. Armida?
No.
Thank you. Victor?
Yes.
Thank you. Diego?
Yes.
Richard Ortiz?
See.
Gil?
Recuse.
Thank you. Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve?
Yes.
Thank you. Selena?
Yes.
Thank you. And Deanna Tran is absent. Motion passes.
My hammer. Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to item number 12, and these are our final minutes from August 19th, 2021.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the general board stakeholder meeting minutes for Thursday, August 19th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, next, we will move on to board member discussion.
Okay. We got Richard Larson.
I had my hand up because I wanted to make a point that there's obviously a lot of misunderstanding because we don't have the proper advisory roles going on. I believe we have a parliamentarian who's been silent most of the time on these things, and this person was the one responsible in past years. But at any rate, one of the things that we've overlooked here is the fact that bylaws need to be voted on by 2/3 of the board in order to change them. And that's why we have standing rules. Standing rules can be easily added or changed or modified. The idea is that they can stand in for a quick fix on what's wrong. So clearly we voted to make our Thursday meetings permanent because we had the third Thursday meetings for, I don't know, like 7, 9, 10 years, something like that, and possibly longer. And that was our permanent position, was our permanent place was at the Senior Center on Workman, and we met there every third Thursday of the month. So we realized all the changes that came along with the current situation with the Zoom meetings and so forth, but we never voted on more than one meeting a month. So reading that standing rule is terrific because standing rules can be changed fairly easily, but changing something that is in the bylaws would require a 2/3 vote, and that was never done. We only have one official meeting of the month. That's on the third Thursday. So all this other stuff about absences or minutes or actions or CIS, all of that stuff is disqualified for many months now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
We have Didia next.
Didia?
Thank you. It's unfortunate that we've already been called a circus tonight and that some of our members have become combative and resorted to profanity. I certainly wouldn't want to be affiliated with something like that in a public meeting. But I do want to say again, I think it's unfortunate that we've had so little time to read and review these minutes. I find it very important to do that. I take notes in the meetings and I compare my notes to the meeting notes. I don't care to watch 3-hour videos on YouTube, so I haven't done that so far, but I'm very aware that it's available. I would love to approve the minutes, and I wish that we can have them posted with the agenda further in advance so that those of us who work, who commute, who have families, who have other service responsibilities can make the time before the meeting. Thank you.
We got William Morrison.
Hey, William Morrison.
Thank you. All right. Well, I look at the website, and like I said before, and like Richard said, and most of the board members, it was always the third Thursday of the month. So I'm not too sure when I'm going back into in-house meetings, but I know we had it at the senior center, and I never missed one. Unfortunately, there was times when I have to work. First priority comes protecting the city when I work security. And at that time, when you want me to go on a Zoom call, when I have to be at work, that is neglecting my job to protect the fans at these stadiums and the attendees. So on this one, I'm gonna have to vote a no. We'll go back to traditional meetings. And there needs to be that on the agenda for the next month. Well, in January, I guess, when we meet again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to make a statement. Meetings don't go back to in-person until March, according to Dunn, and that's speculative, I guess, or hypothetical. But there's protocol for not being able to, if you have to leave early for a meeting, for instance, or if you can't attend, you have to give the secretary an email.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyways, happy holidays to everybody.
This is for the entire board.
Happy holiday.
Otherwise,
Happy holidays.
it would be considered an unexcused absence. And that's the protocol, and that's in our bylaws. So,
Thank you, sir. That's a good copy. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. So, any other board member comments?
I don't see any.
Okay, these are our final minutes. Okay, so next we'll move on to public comments.
If there's anybody in the public that wishes to make a comment, you can do so by pushing *9 or raising the little yellow hand. Not seeing any.
All right, well, we'll move on to roll call vote.
Okay, this is for the approval of the August 19, 2021 General Board Stakeholder Minute. And we're gonna go down the line. Sarah?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Fernanda?
Yes.
Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy?
Yes.
William Morrison?
Recused?
Thank you. Benny?
Yes.
Iria?
No.
Thank you. Joanna?
Yes.
Richard Larson?
Recuse.
Thank you. Anna Lee? Okay, Melanie?
Yes.
Okay, I'll come back to Anna Lee right now. Vicente Reyes Gonzalez is absent. Armida?
No.
Thank you. Victor?
Yes.
Diego?
Yes.
Richard Ortiz?
See.
Thank you. Gil?
Recuse.
Thank you. Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve?
Yes.
Selena?
Yes.
Thank you. And Diana Tran is absent. Anna Lee? Let me just make
Wow.
sure she's still in.
Just a second.
Okay, motion carries.
Motion carries. All right. Prince, can you pull up the agenda, please? Motion carries for the last item. All right, new agenda items, number 13. 13A, removal of absentee board members per LHNC bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, absences, and LHNC Standing Rule 15 and/or 16. 1, Item 13.
Point of order, could I get an explanation on something?
Well, that's something. If you're
Vincent, can I
it
make a point of order?
it has to be about what I'm talking about right now.
All right. I like to make a point of order when you get through, please.
Okay. I will continue.
Hold on a second. A
has to
point
be-
of order requires immediate treatment by whoever is hosting the chair. That's number one, and
I
discussion
have not
stops.
acknowledged you, Richard.
Discussion stops when somebody has a point of order. That needs to be dealt with immediately. It's not
Second, with
paused.
this immediate item.
Thank you very much.
Silence. Thank you. Okay, Gil, what is your point of order?
Okay, I want to just caution everybody when we were doing the scenes with certain items, everything else like that, everything in the particular item that we are bringing up has to be done. Now, in looking at the section 5, Article 5, Section 7, in a couple of instances, it says that on these absentees, that the secretary is supposed to announce the name of the person who is missing. She's also supposed to call, the secretary is also supposed to call the board member and discuss with him about missing the meeting, and also supposed to write him regarding the absentee. So I'd like to know, was that done in these cases?
Gil, this is for absentee removal. This is not for, what is it called, Vince?
Yes, this when you're talking about
according to protocol.
consecutive meetings or 3 in a given year. This is the area that's your
So let me whip up
removal.
the
So
bylaws.
can I get a yes or no? Was that done?
I have not, okay, so let me,
I can answer that.
I have to see if I accept his point of order. So I'm going to do, for instance, hold on a second. This is all according to protocol. So, okay, so absences.
All right, since you have my name up there, sir, this is William Morrison. I never
I
received a
have
phone
not
call.
acknowledged you, William Morrison. Please not speak right now.
All right.
Okay, so this is after 4 unexcused absences in 1 year period. The secretary will read the name of the absentee board member at a meeting. The secretary will then call that board member. A motion for removal will be made. If the board or the public does not agree with the dismissal, a general grievance can be filed. Blah, blah, blah. We are doing this according to protocol. So
if you look at paragraph 3, it says after 3 unexcused consecutive absences or 4 unexcused absences in 1 year, the secretary will read the name of the absentee board member at a meeting. The secretary will then call that board member. A motion will be made to be made. I want to know if that's the calls were made or if she has wrote to these various members.
when it says call that board member, it does not mean on the phone.
Absolutely. That was back in the, before this stuff.
So
Can I answer that?
yes, Fernanda Sanchez, secretary, yes, please.
Yes, so we consulted with Dunn. We're following exactly what they advised us to do. I emailed all these board members on October 21st, notifying them of their absences, which also included dates that we are not discussing today. So they were very well aware. In addition, when I take roll call, that's when you see that the person is absent. So that was also public. There's paper trails of the communication of the dates of absences. So that was done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Secretary Fernanda Sanchez, for clarifying that. Any other board member? Well, actually, no, that was a point of order. So your point of order, there is no point, and we will proceed. Sorry, Gil.
So under item we're on item 13I.
Yes.
1, excuse me. I'd like to make the motion to remove William Rodriguez Morrison for having 4 absence in violation of our bylaws. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All right, we have a second. So board member comment? Board member
Okay,
discussion?
we first have, give me 1 second. We have Gil. Gil,
You are, what are you doing right now?
this is a board member comment on the item for the removal of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't, my hand isn't raised.
Oh, it was, well, it was raised, right. It's okay. We'll just go to the next board member. Okay, Richard Larson.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I was not notified. I'm just talking about, I see my name up here. But in response to what William Morrison said, I have to agree with him. And the interpretations that we're hearing verbally do not comport with the actual wording in our bylaws. So that's a complete disconnect. The other thing is I see on these meetings that William Morrison is accused of, 4 of them are special board meetings, and we are not required to attend special board meetings. And then on these other ones here, I think that we're asking for things that don't appear anywhere in our bylaws. Regarding if anybody is absent, in our bylaws, it does say something interesting though. I mean, I could read it to you, but basically it says after the second meeting that the board member is supposed to be notified and contacted and so forth, and that wasn't done. So that's clear in that section. And then in the other section on the removal, it clearly states things that haven't been comported here, that the person is to be contacted and they're supposed to be encouraged to attend meetings. All this wording is in there for a good reason. And it doesn't seem that it kind of looks like to me, I don't know, that there's some kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, like a vendetta or something going on against several board members here. I just don't think our public and the people who elected these people, some of these people you're proposing to remove have been on the board for 8-10 years and have been reelected 3 or 4 times. So it's just really funny. It seems like there's something else going on here that doesn't really pass the smell test. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you, Vincent. I have a question for the XCOM group of our council, just to be sure, because this is a sensitive process and I wanted to have all the information available. Our bylaws state that we have to consult to the office of the city attorney during the removal process. And I heard Fernanda say that we consulted with Dunn. Does that satisfy that part of our bylaws?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Been
Okay,
consulted.
cool. Cool.
I
Thank you.
believe we also did consult with the city attorney, so.
I cannot speak further on our consulting.
Oops, excuse me. William was next. I lowered his hand by accident. William?
Yes, I'm actually looking at my emails. I don't see any email saying that I was going to be removed on October. I'm looking at all my emails for the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. So I can print those out and challenge this. Mike Fiore, they really want to get rid of neighborhood councils indirectly. So I can address that to him too as well, since I have close contact with him. So we can see about that matter, because my bills need to be paid when I'm working security, and that's why I'm their head security person. The Rose Bowl, I will be working 24 hours to protect that stadium. Now, if you had a meeting on the 31st or the 1st, I wouldn't be able to attend. Thank God today, because since I have the flu, that's why I'm not at SoFi, because I work 20-hour shifts. I don't think anybody on this board can work 20-hour shifts and still be functional. And I have been doing this for the last 15 years. So every event you go to, if you go to the Coliseum, the Forum, or any venue here in the city of Los Angeles, I am the head person. So if you want me to jeopardize my reputation as being top security, then remove me and you will be getting a lawsuit. Okay? And I will put it that way because the changes you have made to this board that was a traditional board for the community has been destroyed of the legacy of my family being fourth generation. If my great-great-grandmother was alive, she would roll over in her grave that cared for this community so dearly. Mother and my aunts. So take that into mind when you want to remove me, because I will be placing a lawsuit, and then this whole board can be re-elected. Thank you.
Thank you, William Rodriguez Morrison.
Okay, we
Can
had,
I make a comment real quick?
yeah.
Like we said, there's protocol for getting an excused absence when you know you're going to be missing a meeting. Unfortunately, people have not gone through that protocol. We've made it clear. This is a volunteer job. Nobody on this board is paid. People on this board put in over 100 hours a week working. Thank you.
Thank you. Didia?
Thank you. I want to say I cannot support threats or profanity, but also I want to thank Fernanda for the great care that she puts into tracking our comings and goings and our attendance in these roll calls. That is extremely important work, and I appreciate the incredible accuracy with which she carries it out. I also understand the incredible importance of attendance at these meetings, and I know that it's been difficult for all of us. I am so happy to see so many new people on this council, and I'll say that even though I've been active in our neighborhood for over 25 years, I'm one of those new people as well. But in COVID, these are very challenging times. And for many of us, these are times of great loss and enormous challenge. So I want to suggest we are among neighbors and that we be generous to one another in a challenging time and through a profound transition on this council. I hope that we might be able to come to a more calm and less circus-like proceeding. But I hope also that we might avoid taking aggressive action against our neighbors at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Sarah?
Any other board member comment?
We have one more. We have William Morris. He already spoke once.
Okay.
We allow him to speak a second time?
No. We're going to move on
Okay.
to, if we have no other board member comment who hasn't spoken yet, we're going to move on to public comment.
Okay. We have public comment. Pedro Ramirez, if you can unmute yourself and state your name for the record.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I just wanted to say something directly to Mr. Morrison in response to his, I guess, stance on what is happening. Like Sarah said earlier, this is a volunteer position. Nobody here is getting paid to do what you guys do. And, I thank you guys for that because you guys, put the time out every day that we have meetings to come and do this. But like what your employment is like and your situation working has nothing to do with being a board member of the neighborhood council. You can't, I just feel like you can't sit here and try and guilt trip everyone just because you're working 20 hours doing top flight security. Like that has nothing to do with the fact that you're a board member. And you can't, I just feel like you can't sit here and cry about how you're working 20 hours, but you're still attending the meetings. Like, what a privilege. Like, you're working and you're still attending meetings. There are working class people in this neighborhood who have to work double shifts just so that they can make the rent. And they don't even have the luxury of being able to call their family on their like lunch breaks. So it's kind of hypocritical and honestly kind of insulting to the working class of this neighborhood that he would sit here and say something like that. But those are just my 2 cents. At the end of the day, if there is a certain protocol that should be followed, the same way that in top flight security, I'm sure that you have to call in with your lead and be like, I'm not going to
Point of order.
I have to be able to come in today. If there's a process to be done, if you want to be
Point of order.
What is your point?
follow it.
Pedro, Vince, can Richard interrupt the public comment?
No, and first, that is.
Yes, I can. Point
No,
of
you
order
cannot.
stops all
You
discussion.
cannot.
Point of order stops discussion. I said point of order twice. Come on, guys. Can't we follow? Can't we? Listen, now you're muting me. Listen, when a board member says point of order, that is.
What is your point, Richard?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Continue.
Okay,
Make
so
your
my
point.
point.
Your point. Please.
Do you mind if I have a moment to make my point?
Only the point, please.
Okay, thank you. My point of order is that you cannot ascribe motivations to the actions of board members.
Well, this is a.
Okay, Sarah, point of order on Richard. First of all, Richard, you cannot guide a public comment. It is not only appropriate, it is against the Brown Act. And it also is against our code of conduct.
I don't know where you got those rules. That's not true. First of all, a point of order stops all discussion, not even board members, but it stops all discussion. Come on, guys.
Well,
It's in Robert's rules. I don't know what
silence.
You know, what community place we've come up with these extravagant rules that don't exist anywhere, unsubstantiated comments about. It's not opinion that we go by. We go by actual laws and regulations and so forth. And what you're talking about here is a complete denial of thousands of years of civilized behavior. And one of those things is a point of order and a point.
Vince, silence Richard. Thank you, Richard. You.
So just to let everyone know at this point.
Interrupted public comment.
I'm going to suggest that the board that we do write a collective letter on Richard regarding the interruption under the code of conduct. Because number one, anybody knows that public comment, nobody interrupts it, not even point of order. That needs to be brought up directly because Richard Larson just currently robbed Pedro Ramirez of his rights to be able to make a free, without intimidation, without trying to control his comment. We do not set those policies. This is not a dictatorship. And I want this piece cut out and sent directly not only to Jose, but the city attorney for review. Because this is not right. This is something that we all stand up to protect the public. We work for them. We are their servants. We do not guide anything that they say. If they have a comment to say here, they say it directly to our faces. That's what public comment is there, uninterrupted.
They could tell us to go to hell. They could say anything. The public has the right to their First Amendment rights.
Okay, we're in public comment, Sarah.
Okay.
Pedro had his minutes.
I want Pedro to continue.
Okay.
Let
me just reset the clock of what was taken from him. And then Pedro, you can continue.
Thank you, guys. So honestly, I'm not surprised that Richard would call a point of order while I was talking. I saw that coming from like a mile away. I am pretty sure that this is frustrating, but you know, like he said earlier, he said that, I don't know, at the beginning of the meeting, he said something about we should be open to the idea of different opinions and stuff like that. And opinions are fine. That's fine, you know, seeing eye to eye with someone else. What really isn't okay is when you're seeing the destruction of your own community and you want to do something and you actually want to be a voice for the people that are there and that are the majority, but you can't.
Thank you, Pedro.
Okay, any other community comments?
We have no more community comments.
So we've taken the board member comments, correct? Okay, so we've done the community. So now we will take it for a vote. Can you restate the motion, Vince, in the first and second?
Okay, give me 1 second. The motion was to remove William Rodriguez Morrison, business representative from the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, due to being absent for 2021 regular board meeting minutes, which were on 12/2/21, 11/18/21, 11/4/21, 10/21/21, 10/7/21, 9/16/21, 9/2/21, 8/19/21 per L.H.N.C. Bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, absence, and the Lincoln Heights Standing Rule 15 and or 16.
Okay, roll call please on the vote.
Okay, give me 1 second. Sarah,
Yes.
Ben,
No.
Fernanda,
Yes.
okay, Vincent, yes. Nancy,
Yes.
thank you. I don't think William Morris can vote on his own. Benny Madera,
Abstain.
okay. Okay, Didia,
No.
okay, Joanna,
Yes.
Richard Larson, Richard Larson,
Muted or anything, or is he just not?
no, they should.
On.
I unmuted everybody.
So if he's not present at the meeting, is he still present?
Let me just double check to see if he's here. Well, I don't see him here anymore.
Okay, so he's not present.
Let
anymore.
me just check the opposite side. No, no, he's not here either.
Okay,
Okay,
so he
so
left the meeting.
Richard Larson is absent at 9:45.
Okay.
Okay, let me just skip back up. Anna Lee. Anna Lee. Let me just, I have to double check because make sure. Okay, so I don't see Anna Lee in. Melanie.
Yes.
Okay, Vicente Reyes is absent. Armida. Armida.
No.
Okay. 1 second. Victor.
Abstain.
Okay, Diego.
Abstain.
Okay, 1 second. Richard Ortiz.
Yes, sir.
Point of order.
What is your point, Ben?
Morrison should have a vote up until his removal, but as long as he's a member, he has a vote.
Should we vote on his removal?
What
Yes.
we can do is allow him to vote and then send it to the city and see if it's okay or not.
Okay, so yeah, we'll allow William.
I'll go back to him once I'm done with the roll call and then make sure we record his vote.
Okay.
Gil?
Gil, you said Gil? I'm
Yes.
voting no, but I want to remind the board members that an abstain is a yes, is counted as a yes. So you're better off saying you recuse yourself if you don't have a yes or no. So, but I'm voting no.
Lena Ruiz is absent. Steve?
Yes.
Okay. Selena? Selena? Okay, I'll come back.
Hi, sorry, I abstain.
Okay. Okay, give me one. And Diana Tran is absent.
Okay.
Okay, let me get down all these. We got different ones. It's gonna take me a bit just because I didn't have the list ready on it.
Sorry, just take your time.
Okay, and then I have a vote, so I'm gonna vote no for myself and make sure we have quorum. Can we do a head count on that, please?
We have 17, we have quorum.
Fernanda.
Yes.
Oh, can you move on to the next one and get it? Let me tally the vote and I'll come back with this one. That way I have another sheet for the next one. I'm building a sheet right now for it, so I don't have to go through getting all of this done.
All right. I just want to preemptively announce that my phone is on 5% and I don't have a charger near me. And so if my phone dies, I won't be in the meeting anymore.
And is traveling. Okay, so well, let's give Vincent time. Maybe let's give Vincent time to tally. What do you think?
Let me 1 sec.
We have to bring up the agenda again to the item number 14. I guess it would be 14, correct?
All right, so we can move on to the next item on the agenda.
That'd be 13 Roman II.
That's right. Thank you, Ben. Discussion and possible action to remove Richard Larson, Area 1 Representative at Large from Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for 4 2021 regular board meetings, November 18th, November 4th, October 7th, September 16th, September 2nd, August 19th, all in the year of 2021. Per Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, absences, and Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Standing Rule 15 and or 16. Do I have a second for this motion?
I'll second that.
Was that Steve? Steve seconds.
So it's
We
first.
move on to board comments.
That was first by Fernanda, second by Steve, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so next we'll move on to
Well-
board member comments. Somebody keeps talking.
Yeah, sorry, that's me. I'm raising my hand.
I haven't recognized you yet, Benny. So any board member comments? Benny Madeira, please speak. You have 2 minutes.
I just want to make sure we get this right. I'm not sure if the motion was properly made. I know Fernanda read it, but do we have to state I move or motion to? Do we need to the word motion or move in there?
Yeah, I
Just to make
think
sure
you're
we
right,
do it right.
Benny. I think you're right. Thank you. So I present the motion to, do I read the whole thing again? Present the motion on the discussion and possible action to remove Richard Larson, Area 1 Representative at Large from Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for 4 2021 regular board meetings, November 18th, 14th, October 7th, September 16th, September 2nd, August 19th, all in the year of 2021, per Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, absences, and Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Standing Rules 15 and or 16. This was seconded by Steve.
You say motion to blah, 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 blah.
I move that.
For mover, do we have a first? Do we have a second? So Ben wants to move it. Who's our second?
I
Benny?
second that.
Oh, Richard Ortiz, second? Okay, so.
Victor.
Oh, Victor. Okay, so first Wadsworth, second Azanado. Board member discussion. 2 minutes each. We've already been here. Okay, so Benny, your hand is still up. Would you like to comment?
Yeah, sorry about that. I
Okay.
actually forgot to bring it down.
Oh, okay.
But I I should say, before I bring it down, I should say that I support the motion to remove Richard Larson from Lincoln Heights Board.
Okay, thank you, Benny. Next, we'll move on to Gil Aravallo.
Because I don't think all the steps were followed, with the notification, everything else like that, not the procedures were not followed. So in that case, I'm recusing myself from this vote.
Okay, thank you, Gil. William, okay, so if you're recusing yourself, you must turn off your camera and stop listening to the whole thing, right?
No, that's only for funding items.
Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry. Well, okay. Okay, so we have another hand up, William Morrison.
Yeah, you still haven't came to a tally yet, so I'm gonna vote no for the removal. That's just diminishing the board. The members that have
We
been there.
haven't gone to vote yet. Sorry. Next, we will move on to, are you finished, William? Do you want to speak further? Okay, next we'll move on to Didia De Leiser.
Thank you, Sarah. I just want to say I cannot support the disruptive behavior in the meetings that we've seen from a particular board member whose case is up before us right now. But again, I urge generosity with our neighbors at this incredibly challenging time. And with so much change and transformation on the board, we know that diversity and inclusion are of primary importance, but also that they often represent challenges and that change is always difficult. So I urge patience and generosity. Thank you.
Thank you, Didia. Any other board member discussion? Please raise your hand. William Morrison, we've already gotten discussion from you. Anybody else? Okay, so next we'll move on to public comment, public discussion on this item. We have Renee Camarillo. Fernanda? Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'll let you take over.
No, I public comment, Renee Camarillo.
Renee? Can he unmute himself?
As I mentioned, I do not have a computer. I do not have the ability to unmute.
I will unmute them. Okay, Pedro, here we go. Sorry about that.
Renee.
Renee Camarillo. Vince?
Is he there?
Yes.
If he's there, then I'll let him go first and then I can say what I have to say after.
No, this is Pedro. It's okay, Pedro.
Oh, but no, Vince, it was Renee Camarillo was.
Yeah, no, it's
okay. Sorry about that, Pedro. I'm gonna unmute Renee. Sorry about that.
Hi, everyone. This is Renee Camarillo. I am in support of removal for Richard Larson due to his absences, and I agree, his unprofessional and disrespectful interruptions during the meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee. Next, we'll move on to Pedro Ramirez. Vince, can you unmute Pedro?
I got Pedro there.
all right. Hello?
Hi, Pedro.
Okay, so fuck, where do we even begin with Richard? I think the biggest thing here that, all right, well, obviously I am in favor of removing Richard from the board. I mean, aside from the, constant disruption to the meetings and the subordination and the absolute no respect for like the president, that's the least of my worries. My worries have lied with Richard far back from before any of this. To me, it goes back to like the shady, underhanded moves that had happened with like the brine, where it was presented one way, and then since we didn't have meetings, it kind of like went in the underground, and then he like tried presenting it again as I don't know, it was like 4647 Main or something. He changed the name to just the address so that like people wouldn't be able to remember where it was. And then I just feel like he has constantly had a skewed view of what the community needs and wants. And it has always reflected to be the exact opposite of what the community has wanted. And it wasn't like, it really wasn't until like late into when I was, you know, a part of like this whole stuff that I realized that this guy was the chair of the planning and land use committee. So like the planning and land use committee has been in his hand this entire time, and he's constantly speaking out against the things that the people in the community want. Like it's just outrageous. Like he just downright ignores everyone, and he's just like, what is he like having people? Oh no, come over here and like suggest this project. This is a great idea because this is the way that it's just, it's beyond me. Like he just absolutely has no connection to the community that he lives in. He has no idea what the people here want. And it has been very apparent. I've dealt with Richard for 4 or 5 years already, and it's just, I have never seen eye to eye with anything he's ever said. And I consider myself to be somebody who is a direct representation of this community. And I feel like I have a voice that resonates with that at the very least, you know, the Mexican, Latino immigrants who live here. And, you know, I'm sure that, you know, our Chinese, Asian immigrant families that are hard workers here too resonates with them too.
Thank you, Pedro. Okay, so Vince.
Sorry, that was probably more than 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
No, you were just under the 2 minute by. I was just gonna put up the time right now. Give me 1 second. Okay.
So more public comment.
Yes, we have. Please state your name. There's a number ending in 284. If you can unmute yourself.
Yes, could you hear me?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. I want to comment on the removal of Morrison and Richard Larson. My name is Steve Caston, and for the record, I was on the first board of the neighborhood council when it was founded about 20 years ago. And over the years, I have seen a lack of participation. Now, what you're doing is you're voting to remove him for absences. You don't have to. You have the right to do it, but discussing about what he thinks or what anybody else thinks is inappropriate. You're only voting on his absences. Anything else you say is inappropriate and should not be discussed. I think at this time of the COVID pandemic, we should have leadway. You don't have to vote on anyone who's been absent. That's your right, but you don't have to. I mean, just to have people participating is what it's all about, an exchange of ideas. So I urge you to not vote on this issue, and I don't want to see either one of these people removed. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay, our next one is LH resident. If you can please state your name for the record and unmute yourself.
LH resident.
If you can unmute yourself, you should be getting a prompt to unmute yourself for your 2 minutes.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi, thank you. I'm just a LH resident, and I just like to express that Richard Larson and Armida are an embarrassment to this board. They have shown a lack of respect for their own board members. They are ruthless and aggressive and disruptive. I'm just happy these meetings are recorded in stone so we can all look back and analyze at a time where the community has never been more engaged. You two should be embarrassed. Everyone, especially the youth, is laughing and will be laughing at you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have no more public comment.
Okay, with that, we will We have one more panelist hand up. Let's see. William Morrison already commented. Attendees. Okay. So we will take this for a vote now. Roll call, please.
Okay.
Okay, if you could restate the motion and the first and the second, please.
Fernanda, can you restate it? And the person, because I wasn't paying attention to who motioned and who was second.
Motion presented by Ben and second by Steve to discuss impossible action to remove Richard Larson, Area 1 Representative at Large from Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for 2021 regular board meetings, November 18th, November 4th, October 7th, September 16th, September 2nd, August 19th, all in the year of 2021 per Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Bylaws, Article 5. Governing Board, Section 7, absences in Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, Standing Rule 15 and/or 16.
Okay. Thank you, Fernanda.
We're going down the list. Okay, first is Sarah.
Aye.
Okay, Ben.
Abstain.
Give me 1 second. Fernanda.
Yes.
Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy.
Yes.
William Morris.
No.
Thank you. Benny.
Yes.
Didia.
No.
Joanna.
Yes.
Thank you. Richard Larson. Absent. Okay, Annalee. I'm gonna mark her as absent because I don't see her in there. Melanie.
Yes.
Okay, Vicente is absent. Armida.
No.
Victor.
Yes.
Diego.
Yes.
Richard Ortiz.
Definitely.
Gil.
Recuse.
Okay, and Lena is absent. Steve.
On behalf of the community, I must echo a clear vote of yes.
Thank you. Selena.
Yes.
And Deanna's absent. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 yeses. Motion carries.
Motion carries. We will move on to the next item.
I just want to bring everyone up to date on William Morrison's account. I got it all counted up. We had 10 yeses, 4 abstains, which are yeses, for a total of 14 yeses, and there were 4 noes.
Okay.
And we will make this available on the website once we print it up.
Okay, thank you, Vince. Okay, now we will move on to the next item. Fernanda or Vince, whoever wants to handle it.
I could do this one for Fernie. I know she's having trouble because she's on the phone.
Okay.
So the next item is discussion and possible action on the removal of Vicente Gonzalez Reyes Jr., area rep, resident for the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, due to being absent for 4 days, 4 2021 regular board meetings. And I'll leave the dates on there because everyone can see them. It was announced per L.H.N.C. bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, absence, and L.H.N.C. Standing Rule 15 and/or 16. I'd like to make the motion to approve the removal of Vicente Gonzalez Reyes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, that was
Richard
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Okay. Any board member discussion?
Okay, we have William Morris.
William Morrison?
Well, thank you. I guess since I'm no longer a board member, I can remove myself from the meeting. Everybody have a happy holidays, and I really want to thank that last gentleman that made that last comment for being so dedicated to the community for so many years. And hopefully we can keep up that legacy. You take care and God bless and Happy New Year's.
Take care, brother.
Thank you. All right. Any other board member discussion on this item?
We got Victor.
Victor?
Yeah, well, William spoke about it. I wasn't sure if after the person is voted out, if they are no longer voting eligible, because I think William voted for Richard. I'm not sure if that can be corrected.
What we're gonna do is, once this process is over with, most of the votes carried to the prevailing side of removal.
Okay.
We're gonna send it to the city, and then we'll get a final okay, and then we'll update the roster once they're removed. And we're also gonna check too if he could vote on his own removal. So we got 2 items to check, but we'll definitely bring it up to you, Victor.
And another thing, I noticed that if all members on the agenda are removed, I think we're gonna reach below quorum. Just FYI.
Okay. So Sarah, how many do we have now?
How many are on our meeting?
We have 16 right now.
So 16, and then who is, so you're saying that people might leave?
No, like right now we have Richard that's gone. Victor made a point.
Richard's gone, William Rodriguez Martin gone, he left the meeting. Who is the next, what's the next item?
Vicente Gonzalez is the next for removal.
He's not there, so.
He's not even here, so.
Okay. So we have enough for now and for the future, so we don't break quorum.
Well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Quick thing. My phone's dying too. Can we?
Let's continue with the vote for Richard. Okay, so we don't have any public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We still have board members' comments that we haven't taken care of. There's quite a few.
That's for, okay, good.
If we can,
okay, if you're not repeating, please do not repeat previous comments. Gil Arevalo, would you like to comment?
Yes, my previous comments, I don't think the proper process was followed, so I'm recusing myself. Also, I want to add that in your motion where you are quoting the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Standing Rule 15 and 16, they do not have to do with absences, unexcused absences. They are doing for a person member knows in advance and he gets excused. That's 15, and 16 is and if a board member is unable to attend a meeting, they may request to be excused. So
okay,
quoting those 2 in the motion is not proper.
Okay, well, okay, thank you very much, Gil. Didier DeLizer.
Thank you. I'm afraid that, well, one of our members must have their microphone open. I hear a lot of coughing and background noise. So thank you all for muting yourselves. My point is, first of all, thank you again to everyone for running such a careful meeting. I cannot support the rudeness and the outbursts and the lack of following procedure that some of our members have made. But since we're voting exclusively on missing meetings, while we all do our best to attend meetings, I encourage generosity towards our neighbors. Even if we don't like our neighbors, I encourage generosity towards our neighbors in these very challenging times. Thank you.
Thank you, Didier. And I would like to make a statement. There are rules about attendance, and attendance is very important on neighborhood council meetings. So if people are not able to attend meetings and they do not give advance warning, they are therefore stealing. People from the public could have those seats. So not stealing, but we would like to open those seats up to people using proper procedure.
We
Or
have Diego.
democracy.
Oh, I think he disappeared.
Okay, so now, any more public board member comment on this item?
None.
Okay, any attendees wanting to comment?
Yes, we have one ending in telephone 284.
Okay, 284.
If you can unmute. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, it's Steve Caston again. I really think that you are voting on some removal of someone, and the comments have been because you don't like him. He disrupts meetings, and the reason was for absences. You're throwing in personal things, and I think it's very, very inappropriate. I think both people you're removing could sue the city because you're voting on absences and you brought up other reasons for removal. Very inappropriate. And I think the vote should not be, I think you should rescind the vote and do it the right way. Bring it up next month if you like, and only on issues of absences. And again, I'll repeat, during COVID, you don't have to vote anybody out, but stick to absences and no other reason. And for the record, it's a point of order is what I'm making this comment. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Pedro.
I just want to say,
Hello?
Mr. Justin's point of order is denied. So Pedro Ramirez.
Hello. I just had, I think it might be a question and a comment. So I'll start with the question. So he keeps saying that we are speaking to the thoughts of Richard and to like what his intentions are, and that's wrong. But from my understanding, I think that it would be wrong if the board members were the ones saying this. But as a public commenter, I have nothing that can stop me from saying as to what I feel that his intentions are and what he's trying to do, right? So I understand what he's saying, and I would agree with him if it was you guys that's saying this, but I am a public person of the community who's saying this. And just because people tend to resonate with what I say, and you know, it makes sense, that doesn't mean that that's what you guys are saying. So yes, he's right in a way in what he's saying, but I'm not a board member.
Right. You. Okay, I can't comment. Any other public comments on this item?
I see none.
Okay, so we'll move it to a vote.
Okay, this is the vote to remove Vicente Gonzalez Reyes, area representative from the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council for missing more than 4 meetings in the year of 2021. Sarah?
Yes.
Ben?
Rick Cruz.
Fernanda?
Yes.
Thank you. Vincent Montalvo, yes. Nancy?
Yes.
Thank you. William Morris? I believe he's no longer with us. Okay, William is absent. Benny?
Abstain.
Thank you. Didia?
No.
Joanna?
Yes.
Thank you. Richard Larson is absent. Okay. Anna Lee, absent. Melanie?
Yes.
Thank you. Vicente is absent. Armida?
No.
No.
Okay. Diego?
Abstain.
Okay, Richard Ortiz,
Yep.
Gil,
Recuse?
okay, Lena's absent. Steve,
Staying.
okay, Selena,
Yes.
okay, Indiana's absent. Let me just go down this real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is 11 yeses, 1, 2, 3 no's, and 2 recusals. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next item.
Point of order, Madam President. I abstained on the last vote.
Okay.
Yes, that's a yeah. I recorded yours. It says an abstain. Abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one is discussion and possible action to remove Armida Marufo, Area 3 Representative at Large from Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for 4 2021 regular board meetings. The dates are as appear on the agenda. Per L.H.N.C. Bylaws, Article 5, Governing Board, Section 7, Absence, and L.H.N.C. Standing Rules 15 or 16. I make the motion for the removal of Armida Marufo. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. That was Richard Ortiz at seconds.
Okay. So we have a first and a second. Let's open it up to board comment. All right. Well, let's open it up to Melanie Belomo Shiflett.
Hi. I just wanted to say, I think that when we all volunteered to be on the council, it was clear that, the one thing you got to do is show up for meetings. And I know it's not easy. I know that it's not easy to make the meetings. I forgot last week, which is extremely embarrassing. I would hope that if I did miss 4 meetings and they were unexcused, I would want you guys to remove me, because that means I'm just not available enough to do this job. I would want it opened up to someone who would be available enough. And I think it's a basic requirement to just show up for the meetings. I don't think it matters how you feel about someone or potential issues that may come up during the meetings. I think the last public commenter, the second to last public commenter, maybe mistook board comment for public comment. I think it was the public making those comments, not board. But yeah, I just want to reiterate, if you can't make the meetings, that's just the standard. So, give your spot up, give it to somebody who can make the meetings, and let's get some representation for our community who's gone without it for so long. And a word on, when you show up to a meeting as a member of the public and there isn't quorum, like when you go to a bid meeting and there's no quorum and you've set that side of time to attend that meeting and that doesn't take place, it's extremely frustrating. So, just that we owe that to the community to be here.
Thank you,
Melanie.
Vince, take over.
Okay, Armida.
Hi, yes. Since I think Ms. Fernanda mentioned that there was been communication with the city attorney regarding my attendance, I would like to have copies of all those emails if they specifically mention my name. Another little comment was, just as Mr. Caston pointed out, it seems that while the community with their comments seems to taint the board, and the community is part of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, and it's not just the board. So anybody who says something derogatory about a board member should be taken into consideration. Absences, yet in the meeting, there are minutes where I have attended. What is the definition of absent? Okay, regular meeting, my understanding is unless we've voted on more than 2 meetings or more than 1 meeting per month, the regular meetings are the third Thursday of the month, and you are including other dates that are not regular meetings. So unless that's clarified, I don't think this should be voted on. Okay, there are people who are late. They're not caught in absent. So that needs to be clarified too. There are meeting minutes that I've attended. That's not an absence. That may be late, like some of the board members who actually came in late today. So unless that's clarified on some members that are allowed to be late and others are going to be used, that's going to be used against them, that's very unfair. So all that needs to be addressed before this vote, because this is wrong. And, you know, there could be a grievance to be filed. Could be, I'm not saying it will be, but this is totally, totally inappropriate. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Marufo. Any other board member?
Yes, we got Gil.
Yes, as stated in the previous ones, I don't think all the processes, all the notifications and everything were made, so I will recuse myself from this vote.
Okay, thank you.
Diego.
Yeah, I just have to say that this entire process has been incredibly difficult, I'm sure, for everyone. I value the contributions of all of our board members. I see the value that they and the intention they bring to the board. But as Melanie and others have said in the past and in this meeting, we are accountable to the community. Lincoln Heights has had a legacy of being disenfranchised by so many people, and the least that we can do is give them a functioning board with people who show up on time and who take their job seriously. The bare minimum you can do is show up to the meetings. And I'm voting in accordance with that, because I just want to ensure that our community has the representation that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diego. I would like to make a statement. Attendance is one of the most important things, and there's protocol for attendance. And that is, if you cannot make the meeting, or if you're going to be late, or if you're going to leave early, you have to give notice to the secretary. All these things are noted in the minutes. So to complain about being sidelined or whatever, I mean, there's protocol for this. Also, yeah, the community deserves people that come to meetings, because without that, there is no neighborhood council. Thank you.
Okay, a point of order, please. Sarah, you said complaint. I didn't come. I want to make a point of order, please.
Yes, state your point, please. I'm Ms. Marufo.
Okay, you said complaint. I never said anything complaint. Okay, please don't add words to what I'm trying to say. What I'm questioning is the items that I had mentioned. I'm not a complainer. And the young man who said that attendance is important, yes, I understand attendance is important too. But you have me marked as certain minutes attended. That is not an absence. Certain people were also late today. Are they going to be counted as absent? That needs to be also.
Thank you. That's your point. Your point is denied. There's protocol for calling out meetings. You interrupted. A point is a point, and you stated
you interrupted my final.
Your point is denied.
It's recorded that you interrupted my finishing comment.
A point must have a point.
Wow, how dare you interrupt me though when I'm trying to make that point?
You have no point, and I'm saying that you have no point because I'm the president and your point is denied.
Oh my goodness, so you are authoritarianly just as a president.
This is a parliamentary procedure and Robert's
Thank you, thank you.
Vince?
Okay, we got Didia.
Thank you. I feel it's very unfortunate that I follow in order a board member who's out of order behavior I do not support. But I do want to thank my fellow board members, Melanie and Diego, for pointing out how challenging it is to attend these meetings. They come so often, and we all make so much time in our lives for them because it's a commitment and it's very important. And I agree, of course, that we have procedures for excused absences, procedures we should all be following. And I do not support the people who leave a meeting in a huff. as has been done so often. Nevertheless, I urge us to be generous. We are working on this council with our neighbors. And I urge us in this time of great challenge and loss to be generous with our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And Steve?
Just wanted to reiterate, I appreciate everyone's time that's here, but I think this is a breakthrough council, and I think that the community deserves the absolute best. And I just want to remind everyone that we have someone on our council that was having a pregnancy, and they still made the meeting. I think this is revolutionary, and I think the community is speaking loudest as ever, and here we are. So I'm proud of this community. And I'm proud they're not listening to people who are victimizing themselves and acting like everyone is against them and there's a crazy conspiracy. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Sarah, I see no more board member comment.
Okay, so public comment. Any attendees have any comment? Do we go for it?
Okay.
We have two hands up.
Yeah. Renee?
Hello, I'd just like to say that I support the removal of our media due to reoccurring absences and unfavorable actions. And I also want to say that the community opinions do not taint the council, but in fact enhance by providing our true public opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then our next speaker is Adriana.
Adriana?
Adriana, if you can unmute yourself. Give you. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, hi. Thanks. Thank you to you guys, all of you guys, for being here and volunteering all your time. I just want to say that I don't come to these very often, and I'm still hanging out because it was like, okay, one thing after another. But I think it's sad to say that you are spending your time as a board on voting on excluding people instead of like really focusing on other things that are pretty sure are more important in the community. Just want to say that, but thanks. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Any other public comments?
We have no more public comment.
Okay, next we will take it to a vote.
Okay. Just to reiterate what we're voting on, this is the removal motion for Armida Marufo, Area 3 Representative at Large from the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for four meetings in 2021 of a regular board meetings. Okay, it was second, and now we're gonna go down on the vote. Okay, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, Ben?
Regrizzle.
Okay. Fernanda?
Yes.
Okay. Vincent? Yes. Okay. Next is Nancy.
Yes.
William Morris is absent. Benny?
Yes.
Didia?
No.
Joanna? Joanna? I see that she's here, but I'll come back to you, Joanna. Just
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
took me.
Okay, give me 1 second. Yours was a yes. Okay, Didia, Joanna. Okay, Richard Larson is absent. Anna Lee, absent. Melanie?
Yes.
Vicente is absent. Armida?
No.
Victor?
Yes.
Diego?
I will abstain from this vote.
Thank you. Richard Ortiz?
Yep.
Gil?
Refusal.
Okay, Lena's absent. Steve?
Yes.
Okay, Selena?
I abstain.
Okay, and Deanna is absent. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 14 yes and 2 recusals, 1 no, 2 no, excuse me.
Motion carries. Next item.
Okay, the next item is discussion and possible action to remove Lena Ruiz, Area 6 representative from the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council due to being absent for 4 2021 regular board meetings. Per H.N.C. bylaws, Article 5 governing board, Section 7, absence, and L.H.N.C. standing rules 15 or 16.
Okay, and Vince, is Fernandez still here?
I'm still here, and I wanted to say that I actually received her resignation on December 13th at 9:15 a.m. via email.
Okay.
With that,
So since she sent her resignation and we don't need to do item number 5.
okay, so we will move on to the next item. Is there another one after that?
No, that was the last one. The next one is B, announcements of.
So B, item B, announcement of LHNC vacancies, business representative 2025. We have a business rep seat open. Area 4 representative resident 2023, term ending 2023. That seat is open. Area 7 representative resident term ending 2025. That seat is open. Please see, there's a link on our agenda, LHNC bylaws article for stakeholder for eligibility criteria. Okay, so we will move on to B1, discussion and possible action to appoint a stakeholder to vacant business representative seat term ending 2025. We have one application. It's from Ronnie Rudolph. Vince, can you elevate, can you bring Ronnie to the panelists?
We have maybe a question from Victor. Victor raised his hand.
Victor?
Yeah, I believe this candidate was able to speak last time in our last meeting. So I'm not sure if we're able to call to vote.
Vince.
Well, we'd have to go through the process again. I mean, if he can, I mean, most of us heard what it is. If he can maybe make it short and go through it, we can get through the process a lot faster.
Ronnie,
So he can make a statement, and then we'll make the motion to approve him, and then we'll have board comment, public comment, and then vote.
Okay. So, Mr. Rudolph, so can Ronnie speak now?
Yeah, I unmuted him.
Okay, Ronnie, would you like to give your 2-minute presentation?
Sure.
Okay, begin.
So for those who weren't at the last meeting, my name is Ronnie Rudolph. I have families that go back to the 20s in the Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, and El Sereno area. I still have family that lives in borderline El Sereno, Lincoln Heights area. I also currently work with the Reevely family in San Antonio Winery. I have been in the area and attended many meetings, kind of sat in the background, listened, didn't really talk much at most of the meetings. So, you know, there was a vacancy available. Obviously, it seems that there's a lot of dismay and a lot of people who don't get along, whether it be on the board, Lincoln Heights. I would love to be a part of it. I feel I contribute a lot. The last meeting, I had a handful of people who came on to speak on my behalf. You know, I feel that I would be a great connection to allow us and the board to kind of bring, you know, help at least a partial part of the community come together. Because at the end of the day, the whole point of the neighborhood council is to take action. I mean, it's not necessarily to, you know, vote on minutes and argue, and then it becomes a farce of a sort. And I think it's I think something needs to happen, you know, and that's really the only reason why I'm here. I value the community, and I would love to help help bring it together and make it a little bit more peaceful, cleaner, happier, and overall just a better place.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Rudolph. Okay, now we will open it up to board member discussion.
First, I'm gonna make the motion. The motion is to approve Ronnie Rudolph to be our business representative seat, term ending in 2025. If there's a second.
I second that.
Okay, Victor seconds. So now board member Gilbert.
Yes, good evening. First of all, I wanted to state that according to the Brown Act rules and everything else, that we're not supposed to discuss or have opinions and everything else like that on items that are brought up before the board action. We're not supposed to have biased or altered opinions of anything. It demands that we go into meetings with agendas that we have going to be voting on the facts as they presented and not biased or altered or you know, items that go along. So I was really, although I was power outage and I was not able to come back on, but frankly I was very I was embarrassed and ashamed of what you put Ronnie through. You can't ask people what their Brown Act meetings and discussions. You can't ask someone what they're leaning toward this or that on a particular situation. That's not approved. That's not right. So I just wanted to state that you should be impartial and unbiased and not ask people to take stands on items that may come up in the future. Who knows when they'll come up in the future, but you're not supposed to touch on those items. Thank you.
You go. Okay, any other board member discussion?
Diego.
Thank you, Vincent. I have a question for Ronnie. Sorry, I think, yeah. We submitted a community impact statement in regards to the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council / San Antonio Winery banners like back in October. And I was just wondering, Ronnie, if you can speak to that. I haven't heard of any sort of response on behalf of the winery, and I know you work for the winery. Can you speak to that, please? Thank you.
Well, two things. First, no one's reached out to me. At that meeting I did, and we did request that anybody from the board, they're more than happy to email us, reach out to me on a personal level. Obviously not representing the board, so that way I can let them know how they feel. I do believe that this is not something like as Gil spoke about, but I will. You know, this is, I don't see what that has to do with my candidacy as a business rep, but you know, I feel like there was a lot of misinterpretation of what that was, a lot of facts getting out there that got a little bit skewed, i.e. like things of, oh, the city's paying for those banners, so why are we using that money? The taxes are paying for those banners, why are we using that money? That's not even close to the case. Not a single dime has ever came from the city. Not a single dime has ever came from any of your pockets. It's literally been the winery putting that up, putting the neighborhood council logo, and that was voted on several times. The only time it didn't happen, because it's every November, since most of the people who were here at this meeting or in this board, they weren't here for that last November or the previous 21 years of November. It actually happened in 1999 when the council member at the time created the neighborhood council in conjunction with the community and asked, hey, we want to get the word out of the neighborhood council. Would you mind fronting this money, fronting these banners so we can do it? And then every November it got voted on, because that's when we submit our plans. We submit them a year in advance for the following year. So it's almost like 2 years. And that's what happened. That's basically all I can say on it. I mean, I don't know if you have a specific question that pertains to it, but, you know, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, thank you. Ronnie, I have a question. On your LinkedIn, it says that you've worked for San Antonio Winery for 3 years, and before that you worked for a storage company. Is this true? And
Are you asking about my personal resume?
I'm asking about how many years you've worked for San Antonio Winery. But 1 second. This motion was never approved by our board for these banners this year. And I want to make that clear. But how many
Okay,
years,
now are you asking about my personal resume?
how many years have you worked for San Antonio Winery?
A point of order. I don't believe that questioning should be in line for this candidate.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't believe that's relevant to
I want to
what's
know,
happening right now.
because you speak of years of knowledge of how the motion was written by certain council members.
Yeah, I've lived in the area, Sarah.
But I
Like
want to know
my family's been here since 1920.
But
and
you're applying as a business representative, and I want to know how many years you've been employed or worked for, because you're going to represent this business. How many years you've worked for this business?
According to you, you claim to have the facts.
That's a
You
point
can
of
answer it
order.
yourself.
I don't believe that's a point of order. Vince, is that a point of
Well, I think we could ask the question, and then if he wants to answer, he can. And if
Yeah,
he,
you don't have to answer the question, but I want to know, because you have such a breadth of knowledge, I want to know how many years you've been employed by
Well, this has already got brought up when it happened a few months back, and the owner of San Antonio Winery spoke on this, and he spoke about everything, and that's your facts. That's all the facts you need to know about those banners.
Thank you, sir.
okay, we got,
Let's continue.
okay, we got Steve.
Steve?
Sorry, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Ronnie. The last time you spoke, you had mentioned your management of LARiverDistrict.com. I have a personal concern because something isn't adding up, and I just wanted to consult it with you directly. You specifically said that the site, it was literally just buying the URL and that it currently wasn't up. A week prior to that meeting, I saw on that website, it was up. It was an advertising selling new, quote, LA River District communities or living areas with logo and branding and everything, which is a lot more than just buying a URL. According to what I saw, that was glazed over extremely dishonestly. So I can see how your answers are concerning to the community. Can you
answer what I was being dishonest about?
Yes. Can you clarify what the advertising campaign was about before it was taken down?
There was nothing being advertised other than we were experimenting on possibly using it as a rental portal for like if people want to make payments if they live at a thing, but it didn't come to fruition. So it was just an URL. We didn't advertise a single thing. There was no advertisement of a business. There was no advertisement of a product. It was just we were experimenting, and it never actually got out to to anybody.
So you're saying it was like a concept, it was like concept art because there was literally branding and such. So what you said was you literally, and I quote, said literally it was just buying a URL.
Yeah, it was we bought a URL and we were experimenting with stuff, but it wasn't pushed out to anybody in the public. We
But
didn't.
you know, I saw it and it was concerning for you to hear you say that. That's all. So for the sake of the community, I just wanted to hear that from you, and I just wanted the community to hear that something was up there and it was very misleading. You're saying it's concept art to some degree. So just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Steve. We got Diego.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to clarify my question because I think Ronnie misunderstood where I was coming from. Thank you for clarifying all those things, Ronnie. I guess the follow-up question to your response is, would the San Antonio winery, and I ask this because I feel like a business representative in the council should, be open to any sort of process, democratic process that the council is trying to promote. And so would the San Antonio winery, from your stance, be willing to go through a process of figuring out how to address the banner situation, get some community input, and also go through the council before any new banners are replaced?
Oh, of course, 100%. Like I told you, I would love to. I would love to meet with anybody and discuss any of the issues that we have, whether that's good, bad. I mean, that's kind of the process of how the world works, especially in in a democratic society. I love the input that everybody brings to us, so that way we can, because it's not a dictatorship. We're not doing that just to make everybody mad. Like, I want to work with people. I want to work with you guys, and whether you guys want them or don't want them, it's just an opinion. And I understand that if the community comes out, not just the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Board, but the community comes out and we have open forums and they speak against it, well, then it speaks for itself. But the reality is there's 17 people here right now, and 17 people out of what, 39,000 plus, give or take. So I understand we represent the areas, but nobody's really, we invited people to come and speak to us. Instead, we kind of just got chastised on a Zoom and they got muted afterwards with all the comments. So I'm just trying to, I would love to meet with everybody. I would love to have a board discussion with an individual discussion, whatever anybody wants to do. I would love to talk about it because, like I said, I'm not just about the winery. I'm about the community. Like, before I was with the winery, I lived in the community. I have family in the community. It's not just hey, I'm here for the winery. Like, that's not the only reason why I'm here. I'm here to try and make it a better Lincoln Heights.
Thank you. Okay, Melanie.
Hi there. Thanks. I'm sorry I missed the meeting last week, Ronnie. Diego, correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking for you. I think what he's trying to get clarification on is if they took the statement to heart, because I know you're responding by saying, yeah, I'm totally open to talking about it, but so we've already discussed it and made a decision for how we feel as representatives of the community. I understand we're 17 people, but if this were approved or passed, I know there's some question on that, but before, I mean, that would have been the same scenario. So it's up there with the same amount of people having voted on it. But in this case, you have hundreds of people behind us who voted us in, less than a year ago. So I'm wondering if you could more directly answer Diego's question, which I feel like we're talking in circles around it, or I'm not following, which is totally possible. But I've noticed that a couple times where people have asked you pretty direct questions and you seem to kind of circle around them and not answer them, which I remember as a community member in listening to board meetings, that was something that I didn't personally enjoy, when people wouldn't answer questions directly that they had the information about. And then, as you've seen tonight and multiple nights, things can get quite combative. And I fear bringing in any new members that may add to that combativeness, and take away from the level of respect that many of these members have for each other. So those are a couple of concerns that I have that I was hoping that you could speak to.
I don't have any qualms with anybody. I don't know anybody on a personal level. There's things that get put out there that I don't particularly like. But I'm not leaving public comments yelling at people. I've been here for now, almost 3 hours. There's stuff I agree with that people do. There's stuff I don't agree with. But I don't think it's my place to yell at anybody. I'm not sure what Diego's question was. I thought I answered it pretty directly. I'm open to discuss about those banners. We did it the prior Novembers, like I said. If we didn't do it correctly, I told everybody ahead of time, or even at that last time, the meeting, reach out to us and ask us, and we'll go through whatever the proper channels was. If we dropped the ball, we dropped the ball. I'm not here to sit here and lie and say, oh, that got voted on. I don't know. I wasn't at the, you know, I wasn't at the meeting since May 17th when they started. I've been coming occasionally, but it wasn't brought up until I saw it on the agenda, and then that's when I went to it. But, you know, we do our best to try and go through the proper channels. I'm not trying to, you know, pull a sheet, you know, in front of everybody's head and have magic tricks. You know, my goal is to be very upfront, very, you know, thorough. But at the same time, like things like these, I've been to a lot of these meetings. I don't recall this many questions of people being appointed. It was kind of just yes or no. And so it's, you know, I'm just trying to do my best to try and be, you know, on the board and trying to support, but I'm not argumentative in any way.
Thank you, Ronnie. I would like to make a statement. After our community impact statement for the removal of the unsanctioned banners, the banners using our name without our permission. That was in August. And then in September, so with correspondence of Bureau of Street Services, in September, apparently they received a new application for all new street banners from San Antonio Winery. And they made all new street banners. So why did San Antonio Winery, after we asked for the removal of the street banners that already existed, why did they issue a new request for more street banners using our name? Ultimately, Bureau of Street Services removed all the street banners at the behest of the city attorney and of Dunn. So why did San Antonio Winery put in a new request for a bunch of new street banners in September? That's my question.
Those permits were already submitted prior to that August meeting. It's just that's when it's up, so it gets resubmitted automatically. It's every year. You got signed. Then once you took them down, you took them down.
We have Gil next.
Gil?
I'm sorry, I was, I just want to iterate that the board is not supposed to be asking questions on items that might possibly be in the future. It's you can't even talk among yourselves or 6 or 8 people because that's over a quorum. Items that possibly standards and everything else like that is brought to the attention of the committees or the executive board, and then it's put on the agenda, and then and only then can you get into discussion. So all discussions for the neighborhood council has to be transparent and open meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. I see no more board member comments, Sarah.
Okay, let's move to public comments.
Okay, public comment. Let me just put this up. Give me 1 second. Okay. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Steve Caston, and I testified. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yes. Last month, I testified on behalf of Ronnie Rudolph, and the question is, can Ronnie represent the business community? I have a business, and I would want Ronnie to represent me. His qualifications are he works for a business, he works in the community, and the winery has appointed him to be their spokesperson. The question should be, is he adequately vented to be on the board, and his personal opinions are not relevant. When he gets on the board, you can have discussion, he can give you his opinion. The only thing you need to know, can he represent the community? Everything else comes out in board meetings. So he does represent the community. The winery has been in the community for over 100 years. They employ over 200 people. Just recently, they gave toys to the Boys and Girls Club. They had toys dropped off at the winery. They gave hundreds of toys to the Boys and Girls Club. They just funded the Boys and Girls Club Gala. They've done so much. So the Boys and Girls Club benefited, the community benefits, and Ronnie would be a great person to represent the community. And I'm a business person. I would vote for him in a heartbeat. So your question is, Can he serve as a board member representing the biz community? And that's what you asked. You asked inappropriate questions last month. Does he favor gentrification? That's not an appropriate question. The question, can he represent the community? Then he gives his opinion once he's on the board. So I would hope you would approve him for the board, and you have my vote as a business person for since 39 years in Lincoln Heights. I would vote for him if I was on the board. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Mikola. Excuse me if I twisted the name, but please unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, guys. This has been really fun to watch this. I'm the Chief of Research, Evaluation, and Strategy at Homeboy Industries. And I will tell you that Homeboy Industries is really trying to create a strategic partnership with San Antonio wineries. I honestly think it's kind of a no-brainer to have someone represented on this council from the wineries, given the history. They've been there for years, and we're trying to do some career pathways with them. So I would hope, and I will follow these meetings now religiously, because I think it's important for Homeboy, because we're not that far away, and we're going to be doing now some things. If you want me to agendize us, we're going to be doing some things in Lincoln Heights that expands our social enterprises. But I can't understand any reason to not appoint Ronnie on this council, just because we need that liaisonship. We need to have that. And, you know, Homeboy, if you guys need a better direct connect, I'm here. I'm here to be there at every single meeting to figure it out, because we all know we are about poverty populations, the disenfranchised, the people that don't have anyone. So, but I have to say, in this case, we need representation from San Antonio Winery on this council. And so whatever we can do to help, we are in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Michaela?
We got
Father Greg wants to come on.
I will put him on a Zoom. If you guys want him on a Zoom, he's gonna support this appointee, and he will have a good conversation. Let's make him a speaker. I'll get him on. I love it.
Get him on the outreach committee meeting.
I'll put him on, I promise.
Just a reminder, we can't have a discussion on future items.
Okay, sorry.
All right, next public comment.
Okay, Renee.
I just want to state that I do not support the San Antonio Winery or any major corporate businesses on the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. I do think that there's threats to use our community as a commodity is a little frightening. And I just want to say that I think it's important to be interested in small businesses as representatives of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear any of that because a board member has their mic unmuted. Can you please mute your mic?
Let me see. Okay. Sorry about that. Roman.
Yeah, hi, my name is Roman Covarrubias. I'm the owner of Davis Blueprint Company. We've been in Lincoln Heights for 58 years. And I totally support Ronnie Rudolph. He has a vision, he has the knowledge, he has the path that can bring Lincoln Heights to another level. You know, I've been in this business. We're family owned, like I said. I'm the last generation to take over for the company. And I have direct contact with the Dodgers, AEG, LA Kings, Bank Stadium, high prestigious projects that I can say that we've worked on in Lincoln Heights. And some of the things I just got to know Ronnie within the past maybe 6 months, because I do a lot of work for the winery before Ronnie came aboard. And the vision and the knowledge and the roots that he has here, he has my vote. You know, you talk about the banners. I asked him about those banners, and I told him, I said, what happened to the banners? And in a nutshell, he just told me they're not here. I said, well, hey, I'm here. I can print these things. I print banners for Metro. I've done all the substations, that you name it. We've been involved. We're a minority business. We're a small business. We're a disadvantaged business. I have all those certifications, and I want to see the beautification of Lincoln Heights grow. I'm tired of just seeing new paint jobs on buildings. That's all I see. So I hope you guys vote for him. He'll bring value, like I said. And I will, personally myself, I would love to engage and get this Lincoln Heights back on the map. Because I'm tired of seeing people telling me, where are you located? Lincoln Heights, where's that? I always have to use the landmark, LAC-USC Hospital. Oh, I know where you're at. So please be considerate and let's bring a new vision onto this board. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We got M. Duarte. Please state your name for the record.
I'm Duarte.
Hi, good evening. My name is Maria Duarte, and I've been a resident of Lincoln Heights for 56 years. I've seen many changes in this area, and I know change could be frightening to people and not knowing. I have concerns as a resident, and I really feel that speaking to Ronnie, working with Ronnie, he's very knowledgeable of what is going on in Lincoln Heights, the change, the empty buildings, the homelessness. And I think these are issues that we need to take care of. This bickering needs to stop. And if we need to get new board members on, I say Ronnie would be one of them. He would be a great asset to your board. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker has a phone number ending in 830. If you can please unmute yourself. If you can unmute yourself, phone number ending in 830.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I am a 626-675-6830. My name is Samson Chan. I'm with Yet Corporation, Lincoln Plaza at 2310 Pasadena Avenue in Los Angeles, Lincoln Heights. I'd like to express my support for Ronnie. I think it's a great asset in our community because he's associated with the winery, and you can observe how winery contribute to the Lincoln Heights community and to the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. And Ronnie is very, very active, and he contributed to the winery, to the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club, and he has a great personality. I'm sure with Ronnie's on the board of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, we can have a better future for Lincoln Heights community as well as the residents, and everybody could benefit because of his presence, his enthusiasm, and I'm sure Ronnie could make a change for a better future in Lincoln Heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samson.
And then our last public comment is LH resident. Can you please state your name for the record?
Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, I'd like to say, Ronnie Rudolph, you are here for business. You can't fool us. You are not here for the community, the winery, and you have a conquistador mentality. The community should be scared of this power trip. I've been in business here in Lincoln Heights for 10 years, and I say no to electing Ronnie Rudolph to neighborhood council, no to San Antonio Winery. I beg the community to not support that monstrous entity or his puppet, Ronnie. Thank you, the neighborhood council, for bringing down those unsanctioned banners. The winery has no shame trying to capitalize on every corner. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I see no more public comment, Sarah.
Okay, so now we're going to take it for a vote.
Okay, just to remind everyone, the vote is to elect Ronnie Rudolph to Area 4 representative that will be serving till 2023.
I'm sorry, point of clarification. Is it business representative or Area 4?
It's business rep. oh, excuse me, business rep. Sorry about that.
2025. Can you reread?
I
B?
vote for him right
Yeah,
now.
it's to approve.
Ronnie.
To be on the board? Hold on.
Please mute yourselves. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just, give me 1 second because there's some people that are not muted. Give me 1 second and I'll come back to it. Okay. Okay, the motion is to approve Ronnie Rudolph for the position of the vacant business representative seat in the term ending 2025. And we have a second. We took board member comment, public comment, and we're now taking the vote to approve him. Okay, Sarah?
No.
Thank you. Ben?
Yes.
Thank you. Fernanda?
No.
Thank you. Vincent Montalvo? No. Nancy?
No.
William Morrison is absent. Benny?
No.
Didia?
Yes.
Joanna?
No.
Richard Larson is absent. Annalee, absent. Melanie?
No.
Vicente Gonzalez is absent. Armida? Armida? Okay, she's absent now. Okay. Victor?
Yes.
Diego?
Dear. No.
Thank you. Richard Ortiz?
Not today.
Thank you. Gil? Gilbert? I'll come back to you, Gil. Steve?
No.
Selena?
Victor, my vote is yes. I'm sorry, I was muted myself. I was muted. Sorry.
Okay, I got you as yes. Selena?
No.
Thank you. And Deanna is absent. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 no's. Motion carries.
So its motion fails.
Motion fails. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry if I'm a little bit ignorant, but motion fails. All right, so next item. Item B2, discussion and possible action to appoint a stakeholder to vacant area for representative residency, term ending 2023. Have we received any applications for the seat?
I have not from the executive. I don't know if Fernie has.
I have not.
Okay, having none, we will move on to item B3, discussion and possible action to appoint a stakeholder to vacant area 7 representative residency, term ending 2025. Have we received any applications for that vacancy?
No.
Okay, having none, we move on to the next item. Item C, Budget Committee. C1, discussion and possible action on approval of November 2021 monthly expenditure report, MER. This is our final item.
I'll make this one painless. This is our MER. We had only 2 expenditures that I paid for, which is our public storage, which are noted on column number 3, expenditures. We paid $289 for the month of November and December. Totaled out to $578. That is our only expense for the month. So I make the motion to approve the monthly expenditure for the month of November 2021, fiscal budget 21-22.
This
I'll
is
second.
Didia. I second.
Okay, do you have seconds? Okay, Sarah, board member comment? I think Victor
Member
has
discussion, any board member discussion?
Y-
Wait. Any board member discussion, I will call on you. Victor has another.
Thank you. I just wanted to see if we can get a list of the items in the public storage because I'm not too familiar what's in there for the next agenda. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be working on that for sure this in the new year.
Yes. Okay, any other board member comments on this item?
I don't see any more board member comment.
We'll move on to attendees comment. To public comment.
There is one. Please state your name for the record.
It's not really on this comment, so I'm not sure I'm okay. This is
It has to be related to the
yeah,
expenditure.
it's Dr. Ron on Homeboy Industries. So we'd love to comment on the fact that we can't get a partnership with San Antonio Winery because I think it's really important. So could we maybe agendize that at some point?
Yeah, you can.
Wait, a partnership with San Antonio Winery, we have nothing to do with the partnership.
No, hold on.
Yeah, but Homeboy's moving into Lincoln Heights, so I think it's kind of important we agendize it.
We can't talk about this, but you can send it directly to Sarah. Anything that needs to be put onto the agenda, because if you guys
That's awesome. So Sarah, we're buying a property in Lincoln Heights. So I think we might want to figure it out.
Yeah,
well,
I would not.
I mean, you guys are already
any further. Sarah, hold on. I would not talk any further because it will taint the process, and we will not be able to take any
okay,
action.
Vince, Terry. Okay, so any other public comments on this item?
We have none.
Okay, and next we will take it to a vote.
Okay, Sarah.
Yes.
Ben.
Yes.
Fernanda.
Yes.
Vincent, yes. Montalvo, yes. Nancy.
Yes.
Thank you. William Morrison is absent. Benny.
Yes.
Thank you. Didia.
Yes.
Thank you. Joanna.
Yes.
Thank you. Richard Larson is absent. Anna Lee is absent. Melanie.
Yes.
Thank you. Vicente is absent. Armida. Absent. Victor.
Yes.
Thank you. Diego.
Yes.
Thank you. Richard Ortiz.
Yes.
Gil.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Selena.
Yes.
Thank you. And Deanna's absent. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Motion carries. What's the next item on the agenda, Vince?
Our next item is everyone's favorite item.
Point of order.
Oh.
What is your point?
Thank you. I have a question, two questions. One, we've been nearly 3.5 hours in the meeting with no break, and I'd like to request for all of our health and for all of our ability to stay focused in the meeting, a break after 1.5 to 2 hours in the next meeting and in all future meetings. I think that's very important. I've requested it before. Thank you very much. Also, the time of the meeting was changed to 8 p.m. That's extremely difficult for some of us. Will that be in the future? Will that be in the future?
The item, we're at 14 right now.
Will the time, my point of order is about the time of the meeting. Will the time of the meeting remain at 8 p.m. or is it going to go back to the old earlier time?
Your point of order is denied. So we're going to move on to item number 14. Vince?
I look forward to adjourning and I hope you'll answer my question in another way so that I can continue to attend the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. The motion is,
Hey, William, how you doing?
I'd like to make the motion to adjourn.
I second the motion. This is Didia.
Thank you, Didia.
All right.
All in favor, just say aye.
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 None?
Just kidding.
Aye.
So thank you all for attending. Happy
Thank you,
holidays to
everyone.
everyone. We'll see you in the new year.
Goodbye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Meeting
Bye,
is
everyone.
adjourned. Bye.
try to point
Night,
out
night.
that they don't follow procedures, they just don't.